episodes in one fucking week. What do we got on number 2?
On today's show, it's part 2 of our 1-year anniversary show. So you're going to find out our top 5 guest appearances of all time as voted on by you. Let's start the fucking show!
Oh no. 1 full year. Everyone get tested. You're definitely infected. It's the Brett DeMont Show.
Oh yeah, folks! Welcome to your second dose of the Brett DeMont Show.
Hey, buddy!
The number 1 news and pop culture podcast in the world. I am your host, Brett DeMont, and joining me as always is my best friend and co-host, buddy.
Well, hello again.
Together we are the Big Silly Newsboys. Again, according to all you beautiful, sexy people out there who are the reason for the season,
sexy.
Folks. That's right.
Sexy. Y'all sexy.
For the last 52 weeks, we've found the biggest, the dumbest, the weirdest, and wildest news from around the world, and then interviewed guests who happen to look and sound like some of your favorite comedians. And those guests were ripped straight from the fucking headlines, folks.
Wow.
Today on the show, we are going to finish our top 10 guests of our first year by hitting the top 5, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's right, folks.
One will reign supreme.
That's
and
right.
it's not who you think.
Oh, or it might be.
It probably is.
Yeah. Based on the voting, yeah, it probably is, or at least 56% of you believe that this is going to be, it will be the top one.
Hey, shout out to everybody who's not on this list.
Yes.
It was heated. It was a heated battle between
Honestly,
literally
truly,
everyone.
It was like, it was pretty, I think adding the option that you could vote for as many episodes as you wanted to, that made it so everybody got so many votes. It was like truly, it was like, it was very hard to narrow down. Like
I wouldn't be able to pick.
Yeah, I can't. It's like
I was going down the list and I was like, oh, that was a fun one. Oh, shit. That was a fun one. Oh, man, damn, that was a fun one.
It's like asking me to name my favorite kid. I can't name one of my kids. That's a joke, folks. I love my children.
The less you think about them, the more you forget.
That's right. But folks, if you've been here from day one, you know that the show ain't always been the Brett DeMont Show with Buddy. Oh, nice. You remember now. You really remember now. But initially, the show had a different name, and that was The Podcast with Brett DeMont, which we, of course, changed the name of the show.
It sounds
nice.
good.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's basically, but it's also, when you tell somebody what's the name of your show, you say The Podcast, and they say, excuse me, what, The Podcast?
Yeah.
Or they say, I Googled it, and it's all Spanish language podcasts.
Shout out to someone online who made a comment on a video once that was like, they kept saying the podcast, and I just heard the podcast, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And then had to tell everybody what the actual name of it was. And then that's the first time where we sat there and we were like, that name sucks.
That makes sense that people don't get it. And folks, let me tell you, the second we changed the name to the show, if you could see the graph of the number of downloads for an episode,
it's wild.
It looks, you ever seen on the X Games when they do the big air for skateboarders when they're like, he did like a 6,000 rotations.
Mm-hmm.
The chart for our growth after we changed the name of the show literally turns up almost vertical.
And we put the hot pictures of us up too, which I think that helped.
Great pictures. Shout out to Clay Larson, who is a photographer in Los Angeles who took those photos for us. Great photographer.
Yeah.
But folks, the show, a few months ago, we changed the name, and it has been a success, and we appreciate everybody sticking with us through the name change. And now that we do video, everybody can see it still says The Podcast behind me, and I ain't going to spend money to change it. So
nope, that was expensive.
It'll just be that forever, I guess. But thank you for sticking it out through the name change, and anyone who was here before and anyone who is here after, we appreciate you very much. And if you love the show, as we said in last week's episode, or yesterday's episode, holy shit.
Yesterday.
we're doing this as a sort of retrospective on the year, but also as a sort of a evergreen umbrella in the free feed of the show for people who are just finding the show to come in and sort of take the first year at a glance. These 2 episodes are the first year of the show at a glance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we decided to do this.
Long glance.
Yeah, it's more like
a 5-hour glance.
First year at a stare.
Yeah.
At a long stare where your eyes get dry.
Super dry.
And you try not to blink, but you do, and you lose the contest.
But then you still have to stare for longer.
Yes. And so thank you all for sticking with us. If you like the show, please go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Brett DeMott Show. You can get all the cool stuff we talked about last week. I don't need to say it all again. You know, there's cool stuff that you get from joining.
You could see a video of this episode where you could see my little cat get in my lap.
Yeah, you can. You can see that.
Yeah,
you can
I got a couple
see cats.
Strays.
Yeah, Buddy took in a couple strays a couple months ago, and they have taken to him.
Dude, it's amazing what a bath will do.
Yeah. You give him a bath.
Also, a shout out for letting me use your bath.
Hey, no problem. I'm a nice guy, folks, despite what I sound like.
And how you treat your family and kids.
I don't have anything to say in response to that. But folks, if you've been here from day one, you heard this. We're going to get into the top 5. And if you've been here from day one, you've heard number 5 on this list. And if you've been here from day 2 weeks ago, you've also heard this guest, because this guest was just on the show, folks. And that, of course, is a man who looks remarkably similar to Mike Mitchell, who you may know from the Doughboys podcast. But at number 5 on our top 10 guest segments on the Brett DeMott Show is Mr. Don Gorski, a man who has eaten a record of 43,000 McDonald's Big Macs.
Wow, 34.
Yes, 34,000 fucking Big Macs in a lifetime. So let's see what Don had to say. Or you could listen to it now, or you could just go back 2 weeks and listen to the full episode if you want. We're going to put it here anyway, though. It's going to be here. It's going to happen right now. Man who has eaten a record 34,000 McDonald's Big Macs says, people thought I'd be dead by now. That's right, folks. A U.S. man has extended his record for the most McDonald's Big Macs eaten in a lifetime to more than 34,000. That's right. Don Gorski first gained the Guinness World Records title in 1999 and has now extended his record after eating 728 more Big Macs in 2023.
This year alone.
Yep, that's right. Well, that would be last year, buddy. It is 2024 now.
Whatever.
Yeah. He used to consume 9 Big Macs daily.
God damn it.
But has now cut it down to 2.
How do you do that?
1 for lunch and 1 for dinner. In order to maintain his health, he doesn't eat French fries and walks 6 miles a day.
Okay.
That's right, folks. Many people thought I'd be dead by now, he says, but instead, I've been a record holder for my 24th year. One of Guinness World Records' long-running record holders.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool to me, he said. Gorski, a prison officer from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, ate his first Big Mac in 1972 after he gained media attention for his burger consumption. Inmates at the prison he worked at would mock him with relentless verbal abuse.
Damn.
And folks,
that's rough.
This is an incredible story. This is so many Big Macs. I wish I'd eaten half of this many Big Macs, but we honestly know we're both partial to Wendy's here on this show.
But Big Macs is good.
Yeah. But Big Macs is good. And we are so incredibly excited, folks, because we reached out to Don Gorski ourselves, and we asked him if he would like to come on the show and talk about this, one of the longest Guinness World Record holders of all time. And folks, he said yes. So welcome to the show, Mr. Don Gorski. Don!
Don!
How are you
doing, boys? Oh, not good.
I can see you sort of you're visibly sweating. Your beard is kind of looks like it's kind of matting up and getting all
couple shredded
stringy.
Lettuces there, I think.
Yeah. Thousand Islands or secret sauce, I think, is in the beard as well. I'll tell you, I think I just haven't felt the same since I've cut back on Big Macs.
Wait, hang on, Don, so you think the reason you're feeling bad today is actually because you cut back?
Yeah.
I think so. Personally, I think so. Hey, shut up. Sorry, one of my prisoners is acting up. I just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you are at prison.
Oh, Don, I didn't know you were going to be calling in from work. If you have stuff to tend to, I mean, you don't have any. You don't need to stay on.
I tell them to shut up every so often. They're fine.
Well, Don, I think a lot of people
you
out
know
there.
how I got in my jail cell? That making a murderer guy is in here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in Wisconsin. That makes sense that he's up there. Wow, we got the death row so guys, the guys that we're not really sure about.
Did they get their own wing?
Yeah, they're like kind of hidden just in case. Yeah,
I got the maybes. Let me tell you, don't shut up because they're always saying I'm innocent. I say shut up. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Well, geez, Don, I gotta say, a lot of people probably heard this story, and then you got on and you said you weren't feling well, and I think they probably all attributed it to
the 34,000
Big Macs. But what in the last few months when you've cut back
7 now, you were at what 9 a day, and you cut back to just 2 a day. So you trimmed 7 Big Macs a day.
And I think that it has taken a toll on my health. Yes, I do believe so.
In what way?
Things just don't feel to be. I mean, look, since I started this project, I would eat.
It's a project. I love hearing it called a project.
In the early days of the project, when I would eat 9 Big Macs.
Yeah.
Honestly, part of it is why I just think I was a little bit more regular, and 9 Big Macs a day would equal 10 to 12 bowel movements. I decided that I need to work somewhere where there were multiple toilets, so I decided where is there more toilets in a prison.
Wait, so you just jump into different cells?
It's part of the project when you were coming up with it was that you needed to get a job at a prison.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
my occupation is a part of the project. Yes,
So like when they go to the yard, you basically have your run of any toilet in the place.
100%. I'll kick them out of I'll kick them out of the cell. I'll do my business, and then they come back in, and I let them flush it for me if that's okay with them.
It's okay with them.
Don, I love hearing about it in this technical of a term and the way that you call it a project. I'm interested. Actually, that makes me want to go back to the beginning. That makes me want to go back to sort of pre Big Mac days of Don Gorski.
This is early 70s. I mean, you started in 72, so this is like early 60s or 70s. Like, when about did the project come about?
Year one for me, the Big Mac's year one is when the project started.
Yeah, right. Of course, the first Big Mac you ate was the
first
project's
Big Mac was that's the early beginnings of the project. It
commenced, if you will. The project commenced.
I thought that there's no one who's ever done like a food project like this. You see art projects, you see TV projects,
right?
You see movie projects. A lot of different projects. No one's ever done something that on the Big Mac, and I thought that I could kind of stand out, maybe make some money, get one of those arch cards, the arch cards for life, where you get the kind of the black card where you can get any McDonald's item forever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Turns out McDonald's not that interested in my story.
Why? You're showing that it's a sustainable way to eat. Mm-hmm. Like it's for all the negative things people say about fast food, you're a living, mostly breathing.
Well, this is where it gets into it. and this is kind of what my project evolved into. A lot of people thought I'd be dead by now.
Right, as you said in the article, yes.
A few doctors have said they don't understand why I'm not dead.
Doctors can't figure out how you're alive.
I went in for an echocardiogram, and they said in about a day my heart beats about twice per day.
Wow.
Is it two pumps, or is it just slowly pumping?
I think it's just a slow pump over the
Your
day.
heartbeat is more like a moan.
Yeah. It's like bagpipes.
Can you hear that?
It's like bagpipes.
Yeah, there was a hum. I thought it was a ceiling fan.
So that's kind of that's why it's evolved into more of like a human project. It's like, how am I?
Right.
How am I living, I guess, is the question.
Oh,
Why
so
am
as a
I
project, it's like is your body the canvas? Is your bowels the canvas that you are creating this artwork around?
living? In a way, hold on, let me take my shirt off for a second. Do you guys mind?
Go for it.
So you see that there's purple blotches all over my body?
Yes.
Yeah.
So doctors have told me that is dead tissue.
It's the same color as Grimace.
It is as
The
very much a
Grimace-colored
Grimace effect.
skin.
Which, I was going to say, I saw the TikTok that you posted when the Grimace Shake stuff was going around. I've actually been following you online for a while, and the Grimace Shake trend was going around on TikTok. And
people. I did a video. Yeah. I just did a normal video, and then people were terrified. They thought I was Grimace.
And people started to stitch your TikTok of you doing just a regular video, and they were shaking their head no.
Yes,
and they were that was Grimace Shake, the original Grimace Shake.
It got caught up in everything else, but yes, the difference was that it was Grimace and people shaking their heads no, they didn't like that, and that is why it was called my project. Was in that moment was the Grimace Shake project,
right? And so, see, now I understand, though. I think I was struggling to get it a second ago, but now I understand. So now the project is almost like pushing the limits of human adaptability,
like an extreme athlete, like ultra marathoners. It's like kind of like in that type of people who swim across the ocean. You know, it's human feats.
It is human feats. I'm honestly wondering how much of my body can be dead tissue before my heart stops beating. You know, that's a part of it. And I'm so pissed. I'm pissed at Steve Avery, who's in the jail cell over here. He gets a documentary. No one really cares about me. No one gives a shit about me. I'm like, I'm basically close to a member of the living dead. Everyone likes zombie stuff. No one cares about me.
It's so interesting you say that, Don, because I remember when that documentary, the Making a Murderer documentary came out, there was like stories that sort of circulated about someone who was in the background of the shoots for this documentary that was trying to sort of like get in on the interviews, like sort of get the cameras to follow him. And I'm assuming now, I don't want to connect dots that don't need to be connected, but I'm assuming that might have been you.
That was 100% was me. If you notice the big purple man in the background of a lot of the shots, they're Making a Murderer. I told the investigators that being someone who is partially, 70% of my body is dead tissue, I thought that I could be helpful in the investigation. I know what it's like to be dead.
Right, you have such a unique perspective. It's like I'm seeing this as like a CSI or like whatever, one of these shows that's like
from behind the grave kind of a thing. Like you can almost communicate with the dead because you're mostly dead.
There's a lot of, there's the kid, the doctor who has autism is one of the kids. And then there's a lot of people that, there's the clairvoyance. I'm saying, what if the guy the thing is that he's dead tissue and that way he relates to the dead and you can figure out mysteries.
Right.
That's a different project I'm working on.
Right. Yeah. That's
Maybe
good.
he has to put his dead body onto the dead bodies, and then it's like symbiosis.
I attempted that. They got very mad that I was laying on top of evidence, is what they said.
Jeez, they just don't get it, Don. They just don't get it. They don't get it. And I think that the reason that these people don't get it is because I do think, like, in general, humanity has a very narrow perception or conception of what a art project or a performance project or any of these things. They have a very narrow conception of what to consider.
I agree.
Worthy of pursuing. And so when you go in there and you're pushing the envelope and thinking so far outside of the box, I think
so far
you
outside
probably
the bun, you could say I'm a Big Mac guy. That's fun.
Right, exactly.
That's
Which
fun for
also
me.
comes in a box.
Yes.
That's true. You know what?
Taking out a big pen and writing down something in a notebook right now.
I'm writing down some material right now.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, if you didn't know, the people, I just want to clear things up on the Making a Murderer thing. I was in the background a lot during the documentary, and also in a lot of the evidence tapes. There's me in the background, and I had nothing to do with everything that went on. I was friends with Stephen Avery, but I was not. I didn't have anything to do with it. Okay.
Yeah. No, we would never want to sort of make a
nobody
connection
even said
there.
anything about that.
No.
Yeah.
No. The fact that the victims had remnants of Big Mac sauce on their hands meant nothing.
Yep. No, we're not pressing you. We're not pressing you on this.
I got nothing to hide. I got nothing to hide.
Exactly. Well, Don, here's what I'll say. It sounds like if you've given up 7 of 9 Big Macs, you've probably got more time on your hands these days because you're making less trips to McDonald's.
Yeah.
You're spending less time eating. What are you doing with those other meals in your day and with the extra time on your hands?
I'm hitting up Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
So you're still okay. So is that why you think you feel bad? It's because other fast food places have less quality?
You know
than
what?
that?
I never thought of that. I eat 2 Whoppers a day.
Okay, so I
eat 2 cheesy gordita crunches a day.
Okay, yep.
I ate 2 cheesecas, the pizza, the pizza chicken, the chicken pizza thing from KFC. That's new. It's new.
It's brand new. Yeah, you gotta try it. Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
You never heard of cheeseka?
Is the bread chicken? What
bread
is it?
Chicken. The bread is chicken. It's actually I think it's one of actually.
The bread is chicken?
The bread is chicken. I think it's one of the most interesting projects I've seen from KFC in a long time.
I think what's interesting about
Quite a
KFC
project.
is it's now one of many projects, quote unquote, from KFC where they have replaced a carb with chicken.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually genius. And if your whole thing is chicken, use the whole bird. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think you should be able to get a meal from KFC that every part of it, every element is chicken.
KFC has a bunch of different projects. I enjoy all of them. McDonald's projects. I like the cheeseburger project. I like the hamburger project. Now, a lot of people try to correct me and say these are just menu items, but in a way, those are projects.
That was somebody's project.
Yeah, because they're also evolving. McDonald's is always working on the recipe. It's not like the Big Mac that we had today tastes exactly like. Well, actually, I guess you're probably the only person who probably knows very specifically if the Big Mac of today tastes the same as the Big Mac from the 70s.
Completely different. Back in the day,
right? Exactly.
It tastes. It's pretty vile by comparison now than what it used to be. So this has become
vile is a strong word, Don.
Yeah.
To quote Creed. I don't know if you've listened to any of Creed's projects, but I've created a bit of my own prison.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's only a few lyrics I can imagine would work in that context, and that was the one that I thought was coming.
Yeah.
God,
my
so
sacrifice not going to work as well. Yeah.
Because
my sacrifice is giving up the 7
exactly Big
Macs per day.
Yeah, because if you said that this was your sacrifice, it would imply that you this isn't a good thing for you, which we would never imply such a thing.
Yeah,
but I get it.
I'm not a healthy guy, as you guys, as you see. I'm not healthy.
Well, you're 70% dead tissue. So
it's not. I mean,
does that count against your health though? If how healthy is the 30% that's alive?
Very, very healthy. The doctor says that
the 30% that is alive has to be so alive to keep the 70% dead along with you.
The doctor he tested my 30% of my living tissue against Usain Bolt's living tissue, and I actually have healthier. My living tissue is actually healthier.
How did your doctor get that sample from Usain Bolt?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. He's very fast, is what you're implying. Right?
But that makes sense to me, because I've always thought that athletes push themselves too hard. I've always thought that they push themselves so hard to the point where their body just breaks down, and that's why you got like these athletes, these football players in their like 50s and 60s who are just like their hearts are exploding, and like you got professional wrestlers whose hearts are exploding, and a lot of people are out there saying it's probably steroids, or with the case of football players, it's traumatic brain injuries. But I think that it's that they've pushed themselves so hard for their whole career that they deteriorate and fall to pieces.
I agree with you. I mean, if you test my resting heart rate on any given hour, it can be 0, because I get 2 beats per day.
Right. It is perceived as 0 beats per minute. That's how doctors have to say it, right? They have to say it's your heart rate is technically 2 beats per minute if you are per day. Yeah. But it's perceived as 0 beats per minute, which
is
it's
something like
huge.
0.0002 beats per minute, something like that. There's some breakdown, but find me an athlete who can pull that off. There's
exactly.
not one.
Yeah. I can actually see. I believe this is correct. I can see a vein on your neck. And I can see your blood moving, and it is very slow.
Yeah, the coagulation of the blood. Yeah,
it's just like a chain of lumps that are just like slowly going. Because your blood makes what, 1 loop a day or something.
Yeah. So it hardens up a little bit.
Right.
That came about in year 7 is when that first started the show. That was 1969, the Summer of Love.
I would love to have
Let
been
me tell you, I can't tell you how many people tripping on acid came up to me at Woodstock.
I bet.
And said, you're purple, man. I said, I know I am purple.
You probably convinced a lot of people that they were way higher than they actually were.
Yeah, I think that I scared quite a few folks at Woodstock. Yeah. I think I scared them straight. A lot of the hippies that turned into yuppies, they saw me at Woodstock, and I think that they went straight.
They got scared. Well, man, I'll tell you what, Don, I have never heard in my entire life of someone whose blood is essentially turning into scabs inside their veins. And that is, I'll be honest with you, it's terrifying to me, and it does make me sort of have the reaction that I think a lot of people have had to you of, how is this guy not dead by now? Because it seems like if that's what's going on. But you yet again are proving every single day that what we don't know about human resilience and human adaptability is incredible. I mean, you're a specimen.
I'm lucky in that the 30% of my body is my head, which is a good it's 15% of it's a good 15% of my body. And then I got my right arm, as you see, my right arm does work, and then my left leg.
Right.
So
and it looks more like just your right elbow works, because it does look like the hand is a bit floppy.
The hand is a bit floppy, as you can tell. But the elbow works, so it works as kind of a delivery device.
Right.
To put
It
the
more
Big Macs
so
into my
works to convince other people that you have full motor function. It's not. It doesn't necessarily work the way that I think hands would work. And I'll be honest with you, being a prison guard or prison officer is tough work. I'm trying to now imagine.
He must be terrible with keys.
Yeah.
God, it must take forever.
Yeah, no, it's a big issue. I have key cards for every prison cell.
Oh,
that's okay.
They accommodated. That's great. That's incredible that your prison accommodates your needs like that. There's not a lot of jobs that do that.
It's an Apple prison. It's one of the last things that Steve Jobs.
It's a prototype prison that Steve Jobs got off the ground before he croaked.
That's right. They were one of the last things that he wrote up was the I think the iPrison was what they wanted to call it. Mm-hmm. It's very white, as you can see. It's
full white.
All of the prison guards are dressed like the Mac Help guys. When you go to the MacBook store,
lots of dark colored polo shirts and little Apple emblem on the breast pocket area. I honestly, it's weird that Steve Jobs kind of just like pieced out without really publicizing that as much. But I guess it does kind of go against his like image in a certain sense. So maybe he didn't want people to know that was the legacy he was leaving, I guess.
Yeah, it is kind of it's annoying because when it malfunctions, we got to unplug the prison, and it's kind of it is a death row. I know it's a bunch of maybes, but still, it is a death row. So like when the prison's unplugged, those guys could escape. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Everything's constantly having to be charged.
Yes.
The doors have their own plugs.
Chargers. We got USB-C. We got Thunderbolt. We got all different kinds of chargers.
We're switching over to USB-C, and it's just a mess. We lost like 7 prisoners because of that.
Jeez, Don. Yeah. Well, that's tough, man. Well, Don, honestly, man, we got to let you get out of here shortly, man. And we truly appreciate you being on the show. And
I don't know how they have not made a documentary about you.
I agree.
I actually think, truthfully, truth of life in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know how they have not made a documentary.
When you say truthfully, you're talking about me. Just truthfully, my story.
Yes.
I agree.
Your story. It's
unbelievable
just incredible.
Twists and turns.
Yeah. And
it probably has to do with a lot of like my political beliefs.
Okay.
Oh no.
I just didn't realize that you are friends with Steve Avery, who I believe was maybe a little off. So maybe that could have something to do. Also, that you were friends with the Making a Murderer guy,
and that you also might have had something to do with it.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know, because of my purple skin, I don't think you noticed that my hat was red. I think that the purple and red.
It did blend in. I didn't want to ask. I couldn't tell if that was just not your skin.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if maybe just like the top of your head was just inexplicably bleeding because of everything else. Man, well, geez, Don, I know you got a lot to do at the prison, so we will let you go here. But man, thank you so much for being on the show and telling us your story. This is just absolutely incredible, and I know that everybody out there now has empathy for you, which is what the point of this show is.
Just getting my project out there and letting people know about it. It means a lot to me. I'm gonna probably go take a shit in Steve Avery's cell. And you know what? We got a new prisoner coming in. Let me tell you, it's going to be a rough night for him. You know who it is?
Who is it?
The Hamburglar.
No way!
Yeah, we got him.
They finally got him. We got him, folks.
They're going to wheel him in on a cart. Just all locked up, Hannibal Lecter style.
We got the Hamburglar, folks. Wow.
Charge the doors. Charge all the doors.
Yeah, the charge of the doors right now. Do you remember Obama's like, we got him? Remember how Obama said we got him? I know. I don't want to get into my thoughts on Obama. I'll just give you, I don't like. I'll say that right off the bat.
I could gather. Yeah, I could gather.
But for me, when I delivered the news of we got him about Hamburglar to all the prison guards, and it was very much like that moment. It was, to me, it was more important than the Osama bin Laden, the Osama Obama moment. Same difference. Okay, see you boys later.
Don, thank you so much, Don. Oh yeah, just say goodbye.
He just flopped off.
A tough time flopping his hand to say goodbye, folks. Well, there he is, folks. Don Gorski, who I hate that I wish it was true for us individually, but everybody who comes on the show leaves the show and then immediately they just get everything they've ever wanted.
Yeah.
Buddy, you checked in with Don last week. What's happened to him since?
I called him on the prison phone. It sounded wild, by the way.
Yeah.
But he's upped his Big Mac intake.
Nice.
Back to 9.
Nice.
Back to 9 a day.
Nice.
He says that the dead flesh situation is lessening.
Oh,
yeah.
That's great news. So he has less dead tissue than he did 2 weeks ago.
Less dead tissue now.
Incredible.
Yeah. He's starting to be able to use the different parts of his bodies that he hadn't been able to use in a while. So, shit's going good. He said he's real good friends with the Make It the Murderer guy. He says they've really hit it off recently.
Oh, good.
And
they have another project in the works, I believe.
Yeah, they think they're gonna start following him around. They're gonna do that documentary he's been wanting all these years.
Wow! Congrats to Don. And you
I think it's gonna be about the McDonald's thing, but also about how he might be the actual murderer from Making the Murderer. So
maybe a murderer. Is what it's
so
called,
many layers.
It's going to be called Maybe a Murderer. Yeah. So look out for Don Gorski on Netflix in the next year or two. Maybe a Murderer.
Maybe a Murderer.
The documentary series, folks. But speaking of not murderers, speaking of famous people who are beloved by all.
Everybody loves this guy.
That's right, folks. We got to hit number 4 on our countdown to number 1. And I don't know if anybody's a basketball fan out there. I think we got a few basketball fans in the audience. And even if you're not a basketball fan, I think you've had exposure to this fella because he is a ubiquitous cultural personality and one of the one of the most interesting people who lives.
Our first guest?
He was our first guest.
Holy crap.
In the whole history of the show. The first ever guest we had on the show, which you should have known when that was where we started that we were going to end up where we are now because we were
it out of the park.
Blessed by Satan on the first episode of this show with our number 4 best guest segment who happened to look a lot like Dan Lippert, but it's a fella by the name of Mr. Bill Walton.
Yes!
Brett and Buddy go together like a horse and buggy. This, I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Yes, sir.
Oh
shit,
Bill, that was beautiful, man. Thank you so much. You're the inaugural guest on the podcast, and you're the only guest who has ever sang for us, and probably the only guest that's ever gonna sing for us. But thank you so much.
Hey, who knows? There's a first time for everything. And of course, I'm quoting a line we all saw many times in the trailer of Undercover Brother, where he slaps the nun right on the butt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we all remember that.
We all remember that trailer.
Undercover
etched
Brother.
into our mind. But Bill,
the nun has, of course, never made love, and Eddie Griffin says, well, there's a first time for everything. He slaps her right on the butt.
Slaps her right on the butt.
I see. Do you watch the full movies, or are you just trailer kind of guy?
I watch the trailers so that none of the jokes are a surprise in the movie. Sometimes I'll say the jokes along with the characters in the theater.
You don't want the jokes to be. You want the jokes spoiled?
Oh, comedy is knowing the joke plus time. That's when the laugh really comes, is you can know exactly what's coming. Surprise is the death of comedy.
Okay. Now I understand. I
think we got the structure off because we had a whole thing about the Dalai Lama doing a joke and joke structure, and I think we're wrong. So it's knowing the joke beforehand plus time equals funny.
That was what the Dalai Lama did wrong. He needed to tell everyone look, I'm going to say a thing here about tongue to tongue.
All right,
nobody's going to like it. And that's what's crazy is you never expect this out of a Buddhist symbol like this. That's the joke.
That is true. That is
it's like
joke.
Bill Maher. You shame people if they don't know the joke. You tell them how they're stupid, and then they understand.
And then you give them time, and then maybe they'll find it funny in like a year.
That's right, buddy. Throw it down, my man.
Well, Bill, you have a special connection to the NBA playoffs this year because obviously you were a Boston Celtic at one point in your career.
That's right. I played for the great Boston Celtics under Coach Casey Jones, Larry Bird by my side, Kevin McHale. I mean, the laughs we had, the beers we had, the fun we had in Boston.
Yeah, so you must be sitting here watching the finals this year with a bit of tension on your shoulders, seeing one of your teams getting there, and they're not looking so good.
Oh, they look like dog shit. They look like dog shit, and they should burn the place down. If they lose 0-4, we gotta burn down TD Garden and Arena, and we gotta build from the ashes like Ra's al Ghul himself. I will come into TD Garden and remove the poison that is this lineup of the Boston Celtics.
Now, it's interesting that you bring up Ra's al Ghul because you actually brought up Batman a few times in the email correspondence between us when we were trying to get you onto the show.
Okay, well, let's talk it through. We'll right away throw away my email signature, which is a Batman quote. This town needs an enema. It's actually the Joker that says it, but...
And you're speaking of Boston.
No, it's wherever you're reading the email from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Which is
God.
explained, if you read the whole email signature, it says underneath, it says this town, asterisk, needs an enema. And then if you look down like 30 spaces, the asterisk says the town you're reading this from.
Oh, I didn't scroll down. I just thought it was over.
And then yours starred.
Yeah, you got to keep scrolling also to let you know that it says read in Bane voice.
Yes,
yeah.
read in Bane voice. It's of course a Joker line, but it must be said like Bane.
Yeah.
This town needs an enema, Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. But Bill, how are you feeling?
Hang on. We all got to do our Bane. This town needs an enema. We all got to do our Bane first.
Buddy?
Oh, this town needs an enema.
Hey, throw it down, buddy. Good work, my man.
Thanks, man.
Look, I don't mean to be critical, but that kind of just sounded like a generic old man to me.
Oh, no, did it?
It kind of just sounded like, I've got this town needs an enema.
That sounded good to me.
No, here, I'll do a real Bane. This is
Oh, okay.
Brett. This is Brett trying to do real Bane.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This, hang on.
Wow, quick to criticize.
A good way into an impression is you say a real line that you can think of in his head, and it'll get you there.
I am Gotham's reckoning.
Okay.
Who was that?
sound like a
That
car-
one's familiar. Oh, that was Yoda.
That was Yoda.
I thought it was a cartoon bunny.
No, that was definitely Yoda by accident.
An enema this town needs. Batman. Which, of course, is Yoda doing the Joker as Bane. That was Bill Walton doing Yoda doing the Joker as Bane.
Yeah, exactly. But Bill, what has been the story for anybody out there who's listening who maybe hasn't been following the playoffs this year in the NBA? What has been the big story this year coming out of the NBA playoffs?
Referee Scott Foster's beautiful lips. I think that's kind of what we're talking about in the media. That's what is lighting Twitter on fire. In Game 3 of Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets, LeBron James ran into referee Scott Foster, and his little whistle broke his little mouth, and his lips got all pretty with blood, and he looked so kissable out on the courts there.
Now, okay.
Oh, whoa, I'm just seeing this for the first time.
And this is universally accepted as the story of the playoffs this year?
I believe it is. My understanding is tonight in solidarity, all of the refs will be wearing lipstick on the courts to kind of show Scott Foster that there's nothing embarrassing about his beautiful bloody lips.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was kind of unexpected. I remember I was watching the game and you didn't really even see what happened, and then they just kind of caught the referee in passing, and he's got a big spot of blood on his lip, and he wipes it, and it did outline his lips in like a very intentional way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it was.
He just smeared it?
He just kind of smeared it on his lips a little bit.
And just like any man, he wanted everyone to think he was fine and it didn't bother him. And in trying to ignore it, he made it so much worse.
Was it like, did he stay in the game like he's a hockey player? Is he like out for a long time?
They put him in the penalty box.
Wow, because he fouled James?
Yeah, he fouled LeBron, so they put him in the penalty box.
This is the first recorded foul from an official on a player. And who did both teams then get to shoot free throws?
They got to shoot the ref. You almost had it there.
Oh, wow. So the penalty box was a bulletproof box that then they got to shoot the ref inside of?
That was the idea. Unfortunately, they got the wrong box, but no one had good aim. So at the end of the day, it's okay.
Wow, right. So just a bunch of fans got shot and not the referee?
This is my memory of what happened, yes.
All right.
And so and this ref's just going to be back in the game today.
He'll be back in the game. Scott Foster, one of the great Fosters of our time, from the people who taught us that all the little kids with their pumped-up kicks had to run faster than the bullet, to the delicious chicken who better run from the farmer before we eat his goblin ass up for Thanksgiving, our delicious Thanksgiving chickens that we all enjoy.
I didn't know he was all those Fosters. Yeah. That's all one guy?
No, buddy. I'm saying one of the great Fosters, and then I'm giving examples of two other
the pantheon of various Fosters. There's a few different Fosters. Australian for beer.
Throw it down, Brent Dumont. One more Foster to consider. Oh, to speak Australian. What about Bane doing one of those Foster's commercials?
Foster's Australian for beer. Actually,
all right, not bad.
I don't think that was that bad. No, that's it. I remember seeing this ref get knocked in the lip. It's great that other officials are going to be sort of showing solidarity with him as the finals go forward. But the big news, obviously, is the Lakers got swept in their conference finals, which was a huge deal. LeBron James could not carry the team to victory.
That's right. LeBron James was the King James, as we call him, and we remember the ads from earlier this season. LeBron versus Father Time. Father Time, of course, portrayed by Aquaman himself. And it was could LeBron James beat Father Time? And at the end of the day, it looks like he could not.
Yeah, it's crazy because he, a lot of people consider him to be the best player of the time, of one of the best of all time, probably the best of all time. And you see him in a situation like this, getting swept in the finals. I got to be honest with you, if I showed up to work and I was supposed to make 30 mailboxes, that's right, my job right now is to make mailboxes.
Oh wow.
If I showed up to work and my job was to make 40 mailboxes and I didn't make all those 40 mailboxes, my bosses would be coming at me and saying, what's the deal? Why didn't you get your job done? You think a guy like LeBron James, who is carrying a franchise on his back, has that same kind of conversation with his boss? Does his boss come in and say, hey, LeBron, you didn't make those 40 I forgot the thing that I make. Birdhouses. No.
Mailboxes.
Mailboxes.
Oh, God. That's probably your problem. You're making birdhouses instead of mailboxes.
That point has immediately been erased by your inability to even remember what you're making. And I'm seeing some of your, quote, mailboxes behind you. And let's just say there's a bit of seed in them and a lot of bird.
Yeah, all right. Look, I ain't used to the job yet. That's the excuse I'm going to use. I ain't used to the job yet, okay? Look, you probably switched teams. When you switched teams in the NBA, Bill, I'm sure there was an adjustment period, right?
Oh, absolutely. You adjust to the food of the new city, to the lovely ladies, to the fans, to the drive, to the public transportation, to the weather.
You took public transportation to the games?
You must. I take public transportation wherever I go, whether it be just down the street for some errands or across the country for some basketball. I was late to most games. But
you took public transportation the whole way across the country?
That's right. Yeah, well,
That's a tough trip.
It's not always easy once you go through the Midwest and stuff like that. Where, but eventually you either hitch a ride, which is public transportation at the end of the day.
Oh, that counts.
Okay, we're counting hitchhiking as public transportation.
It's not private.
Well, actually, look, I ain't gonna argue with you, Bill. You're a legend, all right? But I would argue that hitchhiking is private transportation because you're getting into a private vehicle. It's not like. I guess I don't know. Maybe if you hitchhike on a bus.
Oh, that's what I was doing.
Oh, you only hitchhiked onto other buses.
Yeah. You stick. That's the 2 thumbs. If you're hitchhiking, you got 2 thumbs out. That's buses only.
Oh, got it. Like this. Stretch it out.
That's exactly. Yeah, throw it down one time, buddy. He's doing the Chandler from Friends, but with thumbs coming out.
But LeBron said he might retire. What went into when you were about to retire? How did you finally decide?
I retired due to injury, back pain, body pain. My career was ended abruptly due to injury. I could not face the physical difficulties that my body was throwing my way from the year 2001 to 2009. I did not get up from the floor of my house unless it was to clean diaper or take a hot tub.
Wait, and this diaper, was it a child's diaper, or you had to wear a diaper because you wouldn't get off the floor?
My own diaper. I wasn't using bathroom.
And you cleaned it instead of just putting on a new one?
Reuse, reduce, recycle. Close the loop, my good man.
Yeah.
You can't argue with it, Bill.
So then, if you were duking in a diaper, was the hot tub like a giant bidet kind of situation?
That's right. You get those blasters on in the hot tub. You clean up in about 108, 109. That's hot enough to kill everything.
God. Just burn the germs right off. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, honestly.
I say this when I go to France.
Uh-huh.
This is the problem with these Europeans, is their hot tubs are too small, and they're right next to the toilet.
Now, Bill, I think what you are referring to is an actual bidet. I don't think that's a hot tub.
My Duolingo and I do not get along. So bidet, badoo, bada, I'm blue dabba-dee.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Next time you're in Europe, Bill, text me a picture of a hot tub, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. The first thing I'll do.
Yeah, I'll let you know if it's okay to get in there.
I'll put my little palm next to it for scale, too. Just so you know it's small.
Yes. But Bill, I hate to jump the gun. I think that the game 4 of the Celtics Heat is it tonight? We're recording this on Tuesday.
It's going on right now.
It's
56 to 50. The Heat lead at the half.
So it's looking very much like the Celtics are out, and our finals this year are going to be the Miami Heat versus the Denver Nuggets. And now, as a man who spent years in the NBA playing the game at a very high level, do you have any predictions for the finals this year? If it does, in fact, end up being the Heat versus the Denver Nuggets.
Well, it's impossible to predict the future, but there's a few things we can be certain of. Right. Number 1, LeBron James is going to come down from the rafters, rip his Lakers shirt off, and have an NWO Wolfpack shirt on.
Okay. Does he get involved in the game like that? He can be a 6th man?
He will then take down Nikola Jokic using, my guess, this is where it's a little guesswork and not predictive work, the Steiner Slam, Scott Steiner's move.
Okay, Steiner.
All right. Slam. Everybody
That's
knows
a deep cut NWO Wolfpack member. He came
Everybody
in late,
can picture a Steiner Slam. Everybody just picture that Steiner Slam.
Steiner Slam.
You
LeBron
know
James
better as Big Papa Pump, right? Is that right, Brett?
That is true. That is true. Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, holla if you hear me.
Which is what I say when I'm getting gas to Big Papa Pump out there. Holler if you hear me. Pump it up.
Now, Big Papa Pump is what you call the guy at the gas station. Also, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, in the finals this year, LeBron James is going to rappel from the rafters, rip off his Laker jersey, not revealing a jersey from one of the two teams that are competing, but an NWO Wolfpack t-shirt. And then he is going to do a Steiner Slam on
Nikola Jokic, who knocked him out of the playoffs.
Okay.
Well,
that's
but he's going to do it in a Batman voice because he would be taking down the Joker.
What? Buddy!
In a Steiner Slam you get.
This is Yoda, LeBron James doing Yoda, doing Bane, doing a Steiner Slam on Nikola Jokic, who's commonly known as the Joker.
Yes. Yeah. The layers of this prediction are absolutely insane, Bill.
Yeah, but I can't believe you couldn't just say, like, Nuggets win, because you couldn't predict the future, but you did predict this.
Some things are unpredictable. Of course, I have my life savings on a parlay. Are you gamblers? Do you gamble, gentlemen?
I try not to, out of fear of losing my entire livelihood, but I have been known to gamble. We gamble locally.
I local gamble. Like, I gamble in front of me, not online. I don't trust my money.
I see. So it's like, is it on the 6 o'clock news? Are they going to talk about a dog getting lost? Or are they going to talk about the fire?
Yeah, we do prop bets on the local news about how long it took the local fire department to put out a fire. Over under 19 minutes.
What's the 10-day forecast going to be? Average temperature.
Yeah.
I have no idea how long it would take to put out a house fire. I couldn't tell if 19 minutes was long or short.
Well, if you're in it, I bet 19 feels long as hell.
Holy crap. Yeah, if you're in it and you're not doing the "this is fine" meme, then you're on fire and you're saying, let's speed this up, bub.
Yes. Yeah. But Bill, if you had to predict, we're going to let you go here in a minute, but if you had to predict the actual winner of the finals this year, I know you say it's hard to predict the future, but I just want to get you on record. Who does Bill Walton think is going to come out victorious at the end of the finals this year?
Well, you got Jimmy Butler, one of the great competitors of our time, playing for the Miami Heat. You cannot count out Jimmy Butler. Himmy, they call him. I don't know why. I don't know if he says hi and he does a shimmy. But you can't count out Jimmy Butler. And then on the other end of the floor, you cannot count out Nikola Jokic, the Serbian She-Hulk, the sassy Serb, the Serbian shooter of basketballs.
That's the first time I've heard any of those nicknames for him.
Well, his catchphrase is "you got served."
You got served! And he is a process server, so you never know if he's hitting you with his catchphrase or if you're getting divorced or sued.
Oh, what a cover. What a cover for a process server to be a famous NBA basketball player.
It's impossible to defend. Very frequently, if a player is in litigation, they'll sit the game out if they're playing against the Nuggets because they do not want to be served by Jokic.
He served the owner of that team when he fell into the crowd that game.
Yes, he served Matt Ishbia for some of his predatory loans. He said, "You've been served," and Ishbia said, "You son of a bitch, you got me on game 3."
And then since he got served him, he almost quit his job in the NBA because that was the whole plan.
Yeah, he was done.
Yeah, that was it.
His whole NBA career was a cover for him serving papers to the owner of the Phoenix Suns. I didn't know this.
That's exactly right. And what an achievement from boyhood to now, to the commitment to process serving. So you cannot count out Nikola Jokic traveling all the way across from the Serbian server. The Servian, they call him.
The Servian.
I honestly got to look into. I got to pay more attention to all the nicknames that they're giving the big basketball players.
Oh, everyone's getting him. Jamal Murray, they call him. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
They call him Bill Murray the way he deadpans the ball through the hoop.
Oh wow.
That actually is not a bad idea. I mean, obviously, Bill Murray falling out of favor in Hollywood due to some allegations. So hopefully the same thing doesn't happen to Jamal Murray.
Wait, I mean, Jamal Murray's sex tape got released. He was hanging hog, but there was nothing in there similar to Bill Murray. It wasn't like he was in the back of somebody's wedding photo shoot or on a train giving a guy a noogie while the sex tape was happening or belittling women on set.
That's great. Good for Jamal Murray. He's separating himself from the legacy of Bill Murray. Oh, man. But, Bill, so who, you got the Nuggets or you got the Heat? Did you ever say?
Right now I've got a 2-team parlay. I've got the Nuggets in 4 and the Heat in 6. So both of those have to happen for it to pay off, and I've got my life savings in that bet.
Bill, I don't think that bet works.
That's going to be tough.
Well, I'm working on a multiverse situation here, so we're hoping that's really the only hope I have on that paying off.
Multiverse prop betting? Yeah. God. That's tough.
Yeah, it's really tough.
It's convoluted for sure.
Man, well, Bill, thank you so much for stopping by the show. We really, really appreciate you bringing your star power to a show like ours, and we hope that in the future, when more NBA action comes through, you'll come back on the show and give us some more updates.
Buddy, Brett, it is thine star power which has given me hope and life today as I walk through the valley of the shadow of podcasting.
Moonwalk? As I moonwalk through the valley?
We all say the Lord's Prayer before we go to sleep. As I moonwalk through the valley of the shadow of Dehee Heath.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bill, thank you so much for stopping by, man. We're going to let you go. We really appreciate you being here. We got some more show to get through here, but thanks again for being here, my man.
Wonderful.
Appreciate you taking all the public transportation to get here. I know that wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It was very challenging. I don't know what state we're even in right now, if you could help me with that.
We don't either. So,
California.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. We are. We did say directly at the beginning of the show 8 weeks ago that we moved to California. So we do know that is where we are. Bill, have a good one, Bill, and we'll catch you next time, my friend.
God bless America.
Wow. What a sign off.
And there he goes.
Wow. Oh, he's getting on the bus. You can see him getting on the bus out the window right now.
I mean, wow, what an interview.
Yeah.
You know, like when you get to sit down with someone with such a historic.
Do we interview him or does he interview us? I don't know.
That's actually a great point, buddy.
I don't even know.
And I mean, this guy is also again popping back off,
blasting off.
He, of course, has a beloved podcast over at Comedy Bang Bang World, Eat, Pray, Dunk with Bill Walton, which is a hugely popular podcast as far as I know, but I'm ecstatic for him. You know, he's still popping up here and there on NBA games, and honestly, his insight is still incredible. So, shouts to Bill freaking Walton.
Shout at him.
Shout at him. If you see him, shout at him the way that he shouts at everyone else.
Yeah,
but in a sweet way.
It's the only way you can hear.
Yeah. And folks, I hate to do this to sort of take a downturn here, but I think there must have been some kind of misunderstanding in the votes for best guest segment. Best.
Do you think some people saw worst?
Yeah, I think some people maybe saw the worst because we early on in the show we were excited and we were looking for correspondents to take on different kind of like specific topics. So like we wanted to have sports. We wanted to have entertainment. We wanted to have television. We wanted to have film. And one of the first sort of film related guests we ever had on the show came on the show. And I guess our expectation was going to be more that he would be more of a sort of film preview kind of get everybody excited for the future. And the name was
Hollywood
ironic.
Insider, you know?
Yeah, I thought the name was ironic. He's not actually going to spoil anything. But unfortunately, everyone out there has validated this fucker by voting him into the top 5 best guest segments in the history of the show.
Unbelievable.
And I literally hate
much.
to say these words out loud. But our number 3 best guest segment in the first year of the Brett DeMott Show looks and sounds a hell of a lot like Mark Schroeder from the sketch group Private Street, one of the best sketch groups ever.
And a real piece of shit, too.
But he is a real piece of shit. And it, of course, is the first appearance, which we've been fucking duped again since this. But the number 3 guest on the best guest segments of our year 1 is the first appearance by The Spoiler. Welcome to the show. I'm sorry, your name is The Spoiler?
Yes, it's The Spoiler. It is I, The Spoiler.
Okay.
Hello, Brett. Hello, buddy.
Hi, The Spoiler.
Hey, man.
Thanks so much.
How's your summer 2023 movie season going so far?
Well, I haven't hit the theaters yet. You know, I'm excited. I saw the new trailer for the new Barbie movie. It actually looks pretty good based on the new trailer that I saw. I think it's going to be a little more subversive than the initial trailer let on. I'm excited for what else is coming out. We got Across the Spider-Verse coming out. Very exciting stuff. Lots of great stuff coming this summer. And so
Now, what if I told you I knew things about all of these productions that you won't know until you see them?
you know stuff about the productions.
Yes, I know things about the storylines of the movies that have not been released yet.
Oh, wow. And just so
oh.
everybody listening knows, we are looking at video of a guy who looks like he's in a referee t-shirt, and he has some sort of mask on that
Good luck
has
describing me. You'll never find me. I am somewhere hidden out in Los Angeles, California, and I have inroads and insiders all over Tinseltown, and they feed me information. Feed me information about movies.
Okay, well, speaking of one of the movies that I'm the most excited for, I'm really excited for the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I really love the first one. Really got me really excited. The great animation, the visual style was incredible. The voice acting was really good. The new trailer for the new one looks great. What do we have to expect from that movie coming this summer?
Well, I can tell you at the end of Act 2, Spider-Man is racing across the rooftops to save Mary Jane from the Octopus Doctor. And across the roofs,
the Octopus Doctor?
The Dr. Octopus.
Oh, Dr. Octopus.
And they run and they leap, and at that moment, he misses, and the brick falls, and Mary Jane falls and dies, and who does it? The door opens, smoke comes out, and Kevin Spacey walks on.
No.
It's Kevin Spacey's return.
No way.
Spider Into the Spider-Verse will be canceled Kevin Spacey's return.
No, I know. There's absolutely no way that the studios would let that happen.
Is he a character?
Yeah.
Just Kevin Spacey.
Is it like what? Don't slink away. You can't just slink away after you say this. You can't just slowly move out of frame after you tell us this insanity.
Spoiled.
No, there's no way that's what happens. There's absolutely no way. Because first of all, it doesn't make any sense. I guess it would have made sense if Kevin Spacey at some point in history had played a Spider-Man or something, but he's never played a Spider-Man.
I didn't make the movie, Brett. I just have sources. I have a friend on a tram tour knows an assistant to a podcaster, and
an assistant to a podcaster. I don't
they
know.
read the script. I have insider. I have worker ants and bees over Tinseltown.
If you've seen it, if you know this, how does it fold into the plot? Does Kevin Spacey continue in the movie as
the
a character?
octopus falls and dies, and smoke door opens. Smoke comes out. Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
Just literal Kevin Spacey.
And you only know this one detail. Is he animated even?
Spoiled.
I feel like you're trying. You have to give us more.
Perhaps you're considering heading to the Cinemaplex to see The Little Mermaid in theaters now.
Yeah, I mean, no, that sounds great. I've heard some good reviews. Some people who I trust and respect on Twitter have said it's a lot better than other live action remakes that Disney has done. So yeah, I'd call myself excited.
And the reason is because at the end of the second act, right about the start of the third act, Ariel swims up to a boat, flops onto the net, catches her. She's hauled into a pirate ship. Doors open. Smoke.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey.
No, okay, no, there's no way.
Little Mermaid, too.
Okay, all right.
It's a comeback vehicle.
No,
Canceled actor Kevin Spacey.
No, there's no way. I'm going to pull this apart. I know it's not fun to pull this kind of stuff apart, but I'm going to. There's two things about this story already that don't make sense to me. The end of the second act, into the third act, you say Ariel swims up to a boat. In the story of The Little Mermaid, end of the second act, into the third act, Ariel has human legs. Don't slink away. You can't just slink away when we try to break your stories down.
You betcha. Swims up.
You have to stand up and answer for this, because she's not a fish at that point in the movie. She has human legs and she's on land. That doesn't make sense. And second of all, there's no way that Disney, the biggest family company of all time, would allow
An teacher of mine was the intimacy coordinator's assistant.
There's not an intimacy coordinator on The Little Mermaid, spoiler.
It was on Mandalorian, but it's all Disney.
Okay.
And they heard a story from a coffee gopher, and they know all of them. The gophers know all. Okay. And that's another spoil.
Okay. You got to finish the word spoiler. You can't just say spaw and then slink away. Get back here. Do you have hemorrhoids or something? You are moving around so much like you can't sit on your two cheeks. I just can't believe this. I think I'm going to need more credible sources, because there's no way that a coffee gopher at some studio would have the information. Do you have any direct lines to people who are on these movies, like a director or a writer or an actor or someone who gave you real information about these movies? Because it sounds to me like you're getting, somehow big lies are being spread through your circle of friends, is what it sounds like.
The networks never lie. I knew about the Sony hack 2 years before the Sony hack happened.
It hadn't happened yet. How did you know about it?
I spoiled it for everyone.
Okay.
I was the spoiler.
Spoiler, I don't think you actually have any sources. I think you are just you are desperate to be.
Perhaps you're thinking of seeing the big blockbuster this upcoming summer season, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, opening June 30th.
Absolutely. I'm very excited for that movie. I was a big fan of Indiana Jones as a kid. Temple of Doom is seared into my brain. The Kali Ma scene where he pulls out the guy's heart is one of the most iconic scenes for me in my sort of cinema experience as a child. So I'm very excited.
You're going to love this new one.
If you tell me.
At the end of Act 2, start of Act 3, there's a scene reminiscent of the Kali Ma ceremony.
Okay. So it's not Kevin Spacey coming out of the door.
Bag is about to rip the heart out of another character.
Okay, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the actor's name.
Bag is about to rip the heart out of another character. Indiana Jones is under a voodoo curse.
Okay.
And a door opens.
Okay.
Smoke. A fedora silhouette.
Okay.
And a loop on the band in the shadow. You know who it was.
Okay.
It's Indiana Jones, but the dial has gone back in time, and now it's played by Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
Is the new Indiana Jones.
Are you being paid by Kevin Spacey to
Spoiled.
there's no way.
Spoiled.
Because stop slinking away. You have sit down and stay here, okay? You're a guest on the show. Have a little bit of respect for the show, please. It's important to me, okay? I was worried that we were going to get actual spoilers for these movies, but it's becoming very clear to me that you have some weird obsession with reintegrating Kevin Spacey into cinema.
I'm not the machine. These aren't my movies.
Okay.
Honestly,
push.
Are you Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
That isn't she not, whether it's me.
Me? You said me.
Whether I am he.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a spoiler. I'm telling you what you want to know before you see the movie. I spoil it.
It just feels, I'll call it improbable right now, just to be kind, that 3 different blockbuster movies at the end of the second act into the third act, a completely unrelated door opens up, smoke, and canceled actor Kevin Spacey enters the movie for the first time. And for some reason, in Indiana Jones and not in the others, he's dressed as Indiana Jones.
Well, the story act shouldn't surprise you. They do that turn in films all the time. There's always a surprise at the end of Act 2, start of Act 3.
It's not introducing a brand new character.
Save the cat basic stuff right there. What I'm saying is that each one of these copycat formulaic movies has a big surprise. And coincidentally, across all these independent individual IP, creative heads decided, each of their own will, in these multiple production companies, that this was the moment to announce that Kevin Spacey is returning to Hollywood.
I can't believe it. Well, if you're an insider, then you probably have inside information.
Himself.
No, he's not uncanceling himself.
He is the first canceled and then reacquired celebrity.
No, that's I don't think that's true. I think there's been plenty. But here's the question:
happening.
As a Hollywood insider, you must have at some point. I'll let you get a sip of water because it's obviously difficult for you. You must as a Hollywood insider have some insight then into the conversations that are happening at these big studios that led us to a place.
Think so, but that's not necessary. Okay. All you need to do is have a Postmates driver who is also an Uber driver who once drove home the set decorator of a new docuseries about serial killers that went to the Telluride Film Festival with the script supervisor of the intimacy coordinator again's
the script supervisor of the intimacy
on The Democrat, starring Kerry Russell, now number 2 on Netflix. That's the connection. And word travels fast through the pipeline. It's not me. I'm not making these things up. This is information. You just look up and you reach up and you grab it and you pull it down. Oh, there's just information that floats through Tinseltown.
Okay.
Sorry to ruin the experience and the surprise of these movies, but he's primed. He's back.
He's really not. Is there a movie that? How about this? Just because I am exhausted by all of these mentions of Kevin Spacey, there has to be a movie that's coming out this summer that doesn't feature a return of Kevin Spacey. Like, for example, is Kevin Spacey in the new Barbie movie? Just tell me straight up. Well,
not at first.
Okay.
But right around the end of Act 3, Barbie is locked in the dark.
Okay.
And she realizes that it's actually a tiny Barbie's dream house, and she is stuck as her plastic self, trapped in a child's bedroom for all eternity.
Oh, geez. That movie gets dark then.
It's literally dark, but then a shaft of light as a door opens
Smoke. Yeah. Smoke. Yeah, smoke.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We don't even need the theatrics
coming
anymore.
back.
He's not. I don't think we even need any of these theatrics,
This is
honestly.
the summer of Spacey. Mark your calendars.
If that's true, it can't be true, but if it is true, I guess I'm just not going to go see any movies this summer.
Spoiler.
Don't feed the machine. It's not. I didn't make him.
Oh, that's
But
so.
you're giving him some coin. He got good back end deals on that. I know someone who is basically the third party laundry delivery person's dog walkers.
The laundry person.
Whatever you call somebody, they basically hire this person to take fake COVID tests for them so they can still work.
Wait, to take fake COVID tests?
It's a new industry in Tinseltown, and you can get close to some gossip.
To get clean nose, to get clean
Don't
snot.
risk it. Don't risk it, Rosario Dawson. Don't risk it.
It's like clean piss.
Yeah, it's
Just
like a drug
clean
test.
piss for clean nostrils. It's the same thing. It's deadly out there.
Man, that's upsetting. I didn't realize there was this sort of dark industry popping up around getting clean snot for COVID.
I mean, when you're plugged in like the spoiler, sorry to ruin your 2023 movie-going experience.
No. Honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I'm glad to have this information because it is priming me to know that I don't need to see any of these movies this summer because I don't want to support a guy like him. I don't want to support a guy like him.
Numbers.
Yeah, so I'm just not going to see. I guess I won't see any movies this summer, and I'll go. Maybe I'll go see some Broadway theater. I'm going to be in New York for a little bit. Maybe I'll go see the Beetlejuice musical on
I
Broadway.
saw it. It's delightful.
That's what I've heard.
One of my favorite films into a delightful stage musical. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You know what's interesting about that Broadway play?
No.
They don't just have one intermission. They have multiple through the act breaks.
Oh, really? Okay. Don't do this to me, spoiler. Please don't do this to me.
And right around the end of Act 2 starts Act 3. Back of the house. Not the stage.
No, the lobby
doors
doors.
open.
Okay.
Smooth.
Okay. Yeah.
Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
Yeah, all
So
right.
he's just there to watch the show.
He's back. He picked 8-3.
I really hate this. So he's not in the show. He just goes to see it every time.
Everyone at a pivotal moment in a seat that is inconvenient to get to. Intentionally. He does it every time. It's a power move.
Oh, this is really so frustrating to hear. I was really hoping I could get away from having to support Kevin. I guess I'm not supporting him if I go to the show because he's just watching the show. So he doesn't get money.
Well, he's an executive producer, actually.
What? He's an executive producer of Beetlejuice on Broadway?
Every night. That's why he's there every night.
God damn it.
He says he feels most at home on the stage.
That really hurts. Well, shit. Morally, I just can't support any art that contributes to lining the pockets of a guy like Kevin Spacey. So I guess
you can always read more, I suppose.
Oh, okay. No, maybe I'll read more this year. I honestly, there's a few classic books that I've never read. I've never read The Catcher in the Rye. I've never read Moby Dick. I've never read The Odyssey, or I read parts of it when I was a kid. So
The Odyssey is terrific. That's an epic tale. Many chapters and acts, if you will, in the Odyssey. I remember when he sets off on that Odyssey and right around in Act 2.
and Act 2. Okay, the book's Act 2.
Start Act 3. There's a turn. And suddenly, the Cyclops, the door gate opens, the boulder moves, and in the book, 3D pop-up image Kevin Spacey.
No, the Odyssey.
Spacey.
The Odyssey
Smoke
was
from the
written.
book?
No, the Odyssey was written.
He's back.
The Odyssey was written hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of years ago.
Across all
Spoiler.
art forms, it's an undeniable truth of summer 2023. Kevin Spacey, big time back.
I hate this. I hate that and I hate it that it seems like it's true. That really frustrates me.
I don't want it any more than you do, but we have to face it. It's like the reconnaissance. It's here. The moment
The
we talk about it,
reconnaissance?
it's already happened.
What is the reconnaissance?
Oh, the reconnaissance. 2007 to 2016 elite film selected by Matthew McConaughey and his team to transform his public image and Oscar bait reputability from all right, stoner goofball sidekick to the elite actor Nolan film going person that we see today. That's the reconnaissance. It's a public image transformation. And my sister-in-law's manicurist's Grubhub supervisor programs the Postmates drone. It's a side gig.
Okay.
And he got the credit card number from Angela Bassett.
Okay.
from a Sugarfish order.
Okay.
And ran the numbers and found out that in her contract she knew the author and that they would have to put it in every publication. Now it's a weird Salinger thing. I don't know, but I get that's the channel that it came to me.
Okay.
So if you buy a copy of the book now, get ready.
Okay. That's
John
really
Doe from 7 is springing up at you.
That's really, really, really unfortunate.
Get ready for Frank Underwood in your face. Overwood face.
I was really upset by the weird videos that Kevin Spacey used to put out after he got canceled, where he just in character every year, like on New Year's or whenever, he would do a little video where he would do his character, and I hated that. And the idea that Hollywood is backsliding into allowing this guy. Okay, your mask is almost completely off while you're getting a sip of water.
You stay parched to stay in touch.
I didn't realize that was part of it. No, it's just really frustrating because I just hate that. Is that a Pringle you're eating?
Milano.
Okay, it's a cookie.
Milano cookie.
Okay, good. Well, look, spoiler, I appreciate you stopping by the show and prepping us all for maybe the worst summer of movies in the history of cinema. But I think we're about out of time, so I think we're gonna let you go here. I'll
spoil how this day ends.
No, please don't.
Brett, buddy, at the end of this day, you both.
What time?
I'm gonna go to sleep.
What time? Don't slink away. Don't slink away after just saying we're gonna go to sleep. That's not a spoiler. We know that's gonna happen. Are you done? Is that all you're gonna say? That's the spoiler? We're gonna go to sleep? Okay.
Spoiled it.
You spoiled our day that we're gonna go to sleep? That's not a spoiler.
Your day's been spoiled. You
No,
know how it ends now.
We already knew we were gonna go to sleep. We already
knew. But you touched it, but you didn't really know.
Well, all right. Well, I guess, damn, buddy, now we know. We're gonna go to sleep. But spoiler, thank you so much for being on the show, even though this was a very frustrating realization.
Always happy to be here and spread the word.
No, we'll definitely have you on the show again. I guarantee it. Probably around Christmas time to talk about the holiday big, or when the Oscar season comes around.
Big slate, and this time of year, they're doing some reshoots.
Okay,
that's all I'll say.
I can't wait to find out. But spoiler, thank you so much for being on the show. We got a lot of other stuff to get to, so we're gonna let you go. I guess have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you next time we need some movies spoiled.
See you on the flip side.
Sometime between Act 2 and Act 3. Yeah. Wait, what'd you say? I talked over you.
Spoil it or oil it.
Spoil it or oil it. The classic catchphrase of the spoiler, which will definitely be a recurring character on the show, folks. Spoil it or oil it. Anytime you see the spoiler on the show description, you better believe we're going to spoil it or oil it. We don't
during the strike. It's harder to come up with the good, clever bits during the strike. Maybe we'll have a better
No,
If somebody crosses over, some scab comes over, I'll have a better catchphrase next time.
No, thank you so much, spoiler. We got a lot more to get to, so we're gonna let you go. Have a beautiful day, bud. Well, I hope you hated that, folks. Because we sure did. We hate the spoiler here on the show. He's duped us. He pretended to be Gene Shalit a couple months ago and sneaked onto the show. We have vowed to never have the spoiler back on the show, folks. So I hope you don't listen to the show just expecting to hear the spoiler sometime in the future, because we do not have any plans to have the spoiler back on the show. And we are double vetting every guest that we have on the show from now on. So don't expect to see the spoiler anytime soon. And fuck him. Because also he's about to go into production with a movie he apparently sold. I saw an article on Deadline. Did you see this, buddy?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, it just posted on Deadline. Yeah,
set up in case
for the spoiler to find out any weird ways he might try to get his way onto the show.
Yep.
Yeah, well, the spoiler sold a movie apparently Spacey.
Spacey
is attached.
Yeah. It's from what I read, the movie it's kind of like the way Multiplicity was. It's like Kevin Spacey playing tons of different characters, and I think Kevin Spacey is the only person in the movie. But at the bottom, it does say that there are sneak appearances by other
canceled actors.
Yeah, so
they're really being upfront with the marketing for this movie. They're going for a very specific audience. The kind of reactionary guys who say, no, actually, that person who got canceled is and always has been my favorite person.
Yeah, don't see that one in theaters if you're going to see it.
No, don't. Pirate it. Or wait for fucking Tubi or whatever it comes out on.
Yeah, or don't.
Yeah, or never see it. We don't need to support the spoiler. And if you ever see the spoiler as the guest on this show, boycott the show. Turn the show off. He doesn't deserve to be on the show. And that was number 3, folks. And number 2 is this one's tough for me because I'm scared. I am personally scared of validating this guest. Because as you all know, just a few weeks ago, we introduced a new correspondent who, unbeknownst to me, had a gigantic thing for me.
You knew.
I didn't know.
Of course
I didn't
you
know.
You
I
knew.
didn't know. And we're, of course, talking about Tiffany Key Largo, who's an old friend of mine who was on How You Been back in the day, who agreed to come on the show as our sort of celebrity news correspondent because she assured us that she had some inside information. And I'll say this, it was
inside your heart.
She did have some information inside my heart. But I'll say this, we were duped, but at the end of the day, I do actually think some of the information we got from her was actually pretty interesting, which we have verified some of this information.
Text. Y'all text. I see your phone.
Only to organize her future appearances on the show. Any of those other texts are just...
No, I've read them.
They're just goofs.
I've read them. I know your password. All 3s.
Okay, everyone, don't say that. We'll bleep it.
They can't get your phone.
Yeah, they can't get my phone. But folks, a very fun guest, even if I was made to be slightly uncomfortable, but a very fun guest. And of course, we were talking about someone who looks and sounds very similar to Erin Keif. But of course, at number 2, our number 2 best guest in the first year of the podcast and the Brett DeMott Show is Tiffany Key Largo. Now, folks, you may have noticed over the last, 40, I believe this is the 45th episode, that we haven't been the best at reporting on that sweet, sweet celebrity gossip. That's right, folks, which sucks because, boy, oh boy, do we love goss. That's right. We can't get enough of that Ryan Goslinger. That can't wait for the release of Goss Baby 2, Goss Boss. We're always looking for the channel that's playing America's Goss talent, folks. Because, folks, we love goss. We're just 2 old goss gobblers looking to talk turkey. This was an unapproved intro.
All right, good intros, bro.
You do write great intros. But we did hire our very own, very connected gossip expert, old friend of mine, Tiffany Key Largo, to give us the best kind of goss, celebrity goss. That's right.
Ooh.
Folks, welcome to the show, Tiffany. Tiffany, how are you?
Good, Brett. Do you remember me?
Of course I remember you, Tiffany.
I
remember
couldn't
you.
find my wig from before, but I could find my shirt, Brett. I couldn't find my wig though, Brett.
Well, your hair looks great, Tiffany. And folks, you may, if you're a longtime fan of Brett DeMott, you may have when I back in the day when I had the old Twitch show, Tiffany came on. Tiffany was an old matchmaker in my hometown. Made me take a personality quiz that I saw. I think I failed. I think in which I didn't
So
know you could
you
fail
don't have a personality?
First ever to fail.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just humiliating for Brett. I was in a dark place and I tried to set myself up with Brett and he said no. So it was a bad day for both of us and we haven't spoken again till today.
Well, look, you're back here, Tiff, because you hit me up recently. You said you saw that I'm doing a new show. It looks really exciting, you said. And you said if you ever need a sort of celebrity correspondent or you need somebody who's got the hot goss to come in and let you know what's going on in Hollywood, you would love to, which I was taken aback by because I was not aware of the fact that you moved to Hollywood, which is incredible. Good for you.
No, didn't move to Hollywood.
Okay.
Went there for a weekend. It rained the whole time. Couldn't leave the hotel.
Okay.
But it did give me a taste for it.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you just kind of are. You just know stuff. You met some people that weekend. You know a few people who got the inside info. Maybe a couple bellhops and valets at fancy clubs.
I would never talk to anyone like that, but I do have my finger on the pulse.
That's awesome, Tim. Well, there's a lot going on. I mean, we just had the Grammys this weekend. We got the Super Bowl coming up. Obviously, we've talked about that.
I got some breaking news for the two of you.
No,
that has to do with both of those things.
Here we go. This is what we wanted. This is why we brought you on, Tiff.
Okay, ring the breaking news bell.
Bring, folks.
I heard that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are a new item.
Okay. I don't know, Tiff, you might not be watching the NFL, but it's been huge news. The National Football League. It's Well, Travis Kelce's a football player. Tiff.
Yeah.
So he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, who are a football team. Who do you think Travis Kelce is?
No, I knew he was an athlete. I just am surprised you know so much about this. So, Brett, you've heard about this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would argue it's probably the most the deepest penetrating pop culture news of our time. Actually.
Gross.
Yeah. I didn't mean it like that. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not sick.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of guys who are real mad because they cut to Taylor Swift a lot because she comes to the game. So like on these big, huge NFL broadcasts, they do cut to Taylor, and they even kissed and said "I love you" on the field the previous game, then maybe about 2 months ago, he went to one of her concerts in like Argentina, and then she said she changed one of the lyrics of her songs to that guy on the Chiefs, and then he was there and people were filming him, and they've talked about it a lot publicly.
It's all over the news, I believe.
Yes, okay.
Travis Kelce's mother went on the Today Show and was like, I don't want to talk about Taylor.
Well, the good news is that was certainly not the only thing I had prepared.
Before you move on, how did you find out about this, and what made you think it was huge? It was like huge news that nobody knew about.
I saw it on a magazine cover at the grocery store.
Wait, Tiff. Are these the kind of scoops we can expect?
No. That was just sort of like I know that was
Right, it was the
talking about
first
old.
one.
The first
It was
one.
the first one.
Just
so it's
making
like you're
sure.
saving the best for later. Yeah.
Athletes and musicians are a match made in heaven, and I'm sure everyone saw what Taylor and Travis were doing, and they went, "That's what I have to do." Cross promotion.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
Super
a lot of
romantic.
people's complaints. They think it's a publicity stunt for Taylor and him. They're trying to like make it into a big thing.
And some people think it's a political psyop. This is true. There's a whole thing about it being a political psyop where this is just so that she can get people to vote for Biden. So
And I
there's
would
that.
believe that. But I'll believe anything. I'm going to read you a list that I'm not making up in a panic about that are musicians and athletes that are now dating. And they were inspired by Travis and Taylor.
Wow. Okay.
great.
Yeah. See, this
Patrick
is just
Mahomes, Travis's best friend.
Yes,
familiar?
of course. Yes.
Is now dating Joni Mitchell after seeing her performance at the Grammys.
Wait a second.
so he is divorced. He has been with his childhood sweetheart since he was like 14.
Really?
She was recently up in the booth with Taylor Swift, like giving high fives and stuff. And so this just happened at the Grammys this past weekend. He is now
Yes.
getting a divorce.
Well,
so
that's
this is
huge.
divorce news. He's getting a divorce
Yes,
from his
because
childhood
Joni
sweetheart.
Mitchell's pregnant. And he's doing the right thing.
Okay.
National treasure,
Look,
Joni Mitchell.
hey, look, I don't got my finger on the pulse. I didn't even know the Grammys were happening until after they happened, so I'm
Joni
not even
Mitchell,
going to claim
also,
to know.
Shout out to Joni Mitchell, pregnant at 80. Born November 7th, 1943.
She's a Scorpio.
Wow.
Incredible.
Huge news. That
Huge
is
news.
really incredible.
I guess congratulations to Joni and Patrick.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them. Andy Reid, who's the coach of the Chiefs. I don't know if you
Yep.
know that.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a walrus.
Is
Yeah.
dating Ed Sheeran.
Really?
This is the best place to find the bar is where I go. That guy.
We know Ed Sheeran. We know.
Yeah.
We obviously know Ed Sheeran.
He does he plays the fiddle in an Irishman and remember Ed Sheeran? He's a little redhead
we know.
boy.
I don't know. I didn't look. I mean, quite honestly, I have no problem with it. I think they're both incredible talents. Bring a lot to the world. If they're dating, I mean, more power to them. That's a power couple if I've ever heard of one. Ed Sheeran and Andy Reid. Let's go.
Yeah, just a slightly less of an age gap there. It's only 33 years on that one. Andy Reid, only 65, which is crazy when you look at him.
You were quick to Google, which I don't think is 100% necessary for my segments. I think you should probably sort of take my word for it. I think you're a little trigger happy with Google over there.
Yeah, buddy.
Right, my bad.
It's a sign of a lack of trust, and I don't want to foster an environment on the show where our guests don't trust us.
Right.
So,
Just
like,
looking up ages?
I know.
Brett, have I ever lied to you ever once?
You've never, as far as I know, you've never lied to me. But I'll be honest, I've not done my research in any facet or avenue in my life. So I don't know. Maybe you have. But I trust you, Div. You know.
Do not do a background check.
Has
Check
Tiffany
on me. I'm begging you.
Key Largo lied to Brett?
Google's not gonna.
Don't press enter.
Wait, no. Google
Pages
doesn't know
and
that.
pages.
Google doesn't know that, dude. Come on, come on, look.
And it's not just athletes that are still playing. Some retired athletes are also starting to date musicians.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's
so
great.
the age gaps might stop being. Well, maybe I don't know. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, don't assume that. Michael Jordan, you know from before.
Michael.
From the
Perhaps the
90s.
most famous basketball player of all time. Maybe him, Kobe, LeBron. It's who knows.
He's dating the woman who sings the jingle, "Every kiss begins with K."
Oh, really?
And I think her name might be Julie, but I don't know.
Oh, wait. So what? Wait, what makes you think that they're dating? How do you know that?
Yeah.
Sources.
Sources. Okay.
Inside sources. Michael Phelps is dating Cyndi Lauper. Simone Biles is also dating Cyndi Lauper. Oh, LeBron James and Enya just got engaged. Congratulations to them.
LeBron James is
Yes, Brett.
famous. LeBron James is like famously a family man. You know, he shoots videos with his kids and his wife. They thought they invented Taco Tuesday.
Okay, yeah. Guys who are famously family men never cheat on their wives. Brett, wake up.
True.
You've got me there. You got me there. Okay. But it just, I don't know. Okay. You know what? Yeah. No, you're right. That's
And it's
all true.
Enya.
Right.
It's Enya. I mean, undeniable.
Yeah.
Where the day goes, only time.
Have
That was
either
beautiful.
of you ever
It's
seen
harmony.
a picture of Enya?
Not once in my life, Brett.
I don't think there is recorded evidence that Enya is anything other than a computer voice. Like Enya might be the first AI. Is
The
that
original AI.
I think she's the wind. Yeah. I'm under in the ocean and the sea devotion.
Whoa, you know more than just the one Enya
Yeah, I
song
do.
that everybody knows.
I didn't know she had other songs.
Yeah, I thought she was just the who can say
That was on every CD in the 90s on commercials, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is that one of those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was also just like, it was in everything. It was in commercials. It was in movies. It was in TV shows. It was in Walmart's like store
Walmart's.
soundtrack, radio. What do you call
The Walmart soundtrack is one of my favorite CDs of the 90s.
No, that's what you call Walmart, and then it's
Yeah,
the music that they play at Walmart.
Yeah.
It was bad. Yeah, I tore that one up.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Tiff, if all of this is true, and we're just going to say that it is, these are all huge updates in the sort of like celebrity ship category. You know what I mean? Like people love to ship people. We got Joni Machomes. We got Machomes. We got
Are you trying to do fun names?
Yeah, I'm trying to
for
do
all of
ship
them?
names for all these Machomes. We got who'd you say Michael Jordan was dating?
The woman who sings "Every Kiss Begins with K."
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
Julie. Maybe named Julie.
yeah, maybe Julie.
I forgot that's her name. Yes.
Yeah, we
We got
Jilorden.
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 We got
Michael Phelps and Cyndi Lauper. Simone
we got
Biles and Cyndi Lauper.
Blopper.
We got, 'cause-
Wait, where's the
'cause
B
Simone
come
Biles, Simone Biles is also dating Cyndi Lauper, right?
from? Right. Yeah.
They're
So it's
fighting
a
for her
throuple?
love.
So it's Flopper and Blopper.
It's a love triangle.
With Flopper and Blopper.
Those sound like Little Mermaid characters.
Yeah, they really do.
Tom Brady is dating Sarah McLachlan,
Wow.
obviously.
I don't know if that's obvious.
Obvious. Are you kidding?
Are these all women who have been nominated in the same music category?
Yes, they are all women that my mom got their CDs out from the library when I was a child.
A resurgence. They're having a
Yeah.
resurgence.
Wow. Oh, I mean, huge. That's huge. Jeez, Tiff. Well, that's incredible. I mean, it makes sense. You know, things get trendy, and then all of these different people who want to sort of jump on the bandwagon jump on. You know, it's like, oh, I'm dating my musician. Oh, I'm dating my football player. It makes sense.
It's pop culture synergy, and it's contagious. Once one
Exactly.
person starts dating a musician, they all fall like dominoes.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen it many times in history. Pop culture sort of find its one thing that's going to be huge for a minute or two, and then
Michael Jackson held his baby out a window. Then everybody else started holding their babies out of windows.
Right.
There was...
That's the one. That's the big one. Yeah, it was when Michael Jackson held his baby out the window, and then everybody else started holding their babies out the window.
It was
Now
the
that
new
I think
gender
about it, that's the
reveals.
only cultural reference I can even think of.
Right. It's definitely up. It's definitely up there. I'm like thinking, maybe like Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. There was like a few other like
There was
kneecappings.
tons of kneecaps. There was like a string of kneecaps after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you could put Dick Cheney shooting his hunting partner in the face
I
in the
love
same
that one.
category. That's
That's a great one.
he was just following the Kerrigan Harding model of pop culture relevancy. That's all. Wow, man. Wow, this is enlightening, honestly, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm feeling like I'm like learning so much already, and you've only been on here for a few minutes.
Yeah, I could keep going.
Please
You're probably not interested. What do I got here?
This is great.
see. Roger Federer, who I think plays tennis.
Yes.
Is dating Brenda Lee, who sings "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree." That's a fun one.
Oh, wow,
Wayne
that is
Gretzky,
fun.
the hockey player, is dating the drummer from Death Cab for Cutie, whoever he may be.
Oh.
Drew Brees, who's a quarterback who I sold pants to at Nordstrom once. True story. Is dating wind chimes.
Okay.
Wait, like just
Is
as
that
like
Inya's cousin?
Yes. It's sort of a nepotism thing. The wind chimes sort of had a hit album because her aunt or her cousin is Enya.
wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How many of these do you have, Tiffany? I'm impressed by. I would have been impressed with 6.
Yeah.
And it feels like you have 100.
It's almost like there's like a random celebrity couples generator that
Brett,
just went
but
ham on.
I have 100. I have like about 100, but I actually don't need to get any more than like 3 or 4 more. I don't think they get any better than the wind chimes thing.
Wind chimes is definitely a peak, I think.
Yeah, I think I should have ended with that, but I'll keep going. Peyton Manning, who is a football player,
Yes.
is dating me.
Oh,
Because he heard me singing "You're So Vain" at karaoke when he was walking down the street.
wow.
He fell in love with me.
I'm proud that you consider yourself a celebrity. That I didn't mean that as a dig. I don't mean that as a dig.
Are you a singer?
Yeah.
Are you a musician?
I just told you I sang "You're So Vain" at karaoke. You tell me.
I guess that qualifies you.
Yeah. I mean, Peyton Manning is a very rich man. So
Yeah.
I think,
How's his wife and family taking that?
I don't know.
We'll just
are
guess
you
it's not
jealous,
good.
Brett? Are you jealous?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be jealous of the money that you probably got going on in the bank account right now because you got.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When
Why are you talking like that?
when Brett said that you were coming on the show, I felt like he was a little nervous. I felt like I was like, because he like did his hair a little longer than normal. I saw him literally brush his mustache. I've never seen him do that.
Well, it's getting long now. It's getting long. It's kind of
he
over the
brushed
lip
it.
now.
It looked like there was some sort of like skin balm that he put on before this. So
Brett,
I'm not gonna say he's dressing to impress for this episode, but.
Well, look, Tiff, I just hadn't seen you in a long time, Tiff, okay? And I didn't want you to think I was some fucking dump truck, you know what I mean?
God.
I don't think you're a dump truck. I think you're a human man.
I know, but I don't know. We ain't seen each other in a while. I thought maybe you'd come on and you'd be like, damn, this guy moved away and now he looks like a fucking dump truck over here.
No, Brett. And I don't know if you're jealous. Maybe you can fight Peyton Manning. Maybe it can be a Michael Phelps, Simone Biles, Cyndi Lauper love triangle.
That would be Pay Largo. I don't know.
Pay Largo, Montego.
Okay, Beach
Email
Boys.
me when you've got the name. Oh, the Beach Boys are dating Diana Ross.
All of them? They're back
Yeah,
together
they're all
for it?
dating. Yeah, and John Stamos, who also tours with the Beach Boys. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't until I saw the Beach Boys, and I was like, "Is that fucking John Stamos running around the stage playing bongos?"
Yeah,
What the
just
fuck is he doing
coked out of
here?
his mind.
He got in with them during Full House. There was a whole arc on the show where he played a show with the Beach Boys, and and Uncle Jesse had a song that he played with the Beach Boys, and it goes, "If I'm new and you make me laugh, I'd talk forever." That's the lyrics to it. People out there are probably like, "Wow, Brett, what a memory you got," because that's a deep cut reference to Full House.
I didn't have cable, so I don't know.
Missed it. Then you definitely missed it.
I missed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And so he was a jump scare when I saw the Beach Boys.
Can you imagine hearing that as a person? So you hear the review from someone is, honestly, he was a jump scare at the concert.
It
I don't
does.
know.
It doesn't fit at all.
No.
You don't think it fits at all. So if you didn't know that and then you saw it, you'd probably think it was some weird joke.
Yeah.
Like
I
they had
couldn't
him up
believe
for
it.
one song because he like VIP'd for something.
And then he stuck around
Yeah.
for a whole
They
tour.
seemed kind of annoyed at him, to be honest.
In
They
between,
kept pushing him away.
They were like, John Stamos, please.
They end a song and he keeps just banging on the bongos in the background, and they're just kind of all looking at him, waiting for him to stop.
did you ever bring it up like in between songs? Like, what's John Stamos doing up there?
Yeah, it was a collective. Why? Let's see. The ghost of Babe Ruth is dating Gwen Stefani. That's, I think, pretty cute. I like that one. That one's cute.
Can I tell you why I love that? Because in everyone's opinions, Babe Ruth was not a great guy.
What, Brett? Why? Really?
I mean, in my memory, he was a bit of a womanizer. But I think
guy
every
from
man
100 years ago was not a great guy.
No.
Say it ain't so, Brett.
What I was gonna say is I feel like Gwen Stefani wouldn't go out with his ghost unless his ghost had changed. So it makes me feel like maybe Babe Ruth has sort of gotten his act together in the afterlife.
Oh, it gives you hope for the after, like so you can change after you're dead.
It's like I ain't stuck being a fucking dump truck for all of eternity. You know, I might be able to be a fucking school bus. I don't know what's better. What's as
That's
big
an
as a
upgrade.
dump
That's
truck?
the
but
natural
better.
upgrade.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I have a favorite one. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, of
yeah,
course,
please,
absolutely.
please.
Tony Hawk and Susan Boyle.
Okay.
And that's, I think, probably the best I can do.
Tiffany, that's incredible. That's
amazing.
an incredible. Honestly,
Wow, what a
just in
scoop.
my mind, picturing them together is perhaps one of the funniest images I can
He's
imagine.
skating. She's doing opera music in the corner.
Oh, imagine the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater 6. It's all Susan Boyle covering the original songs.
Susan Boyle covering like Blink 182.
Yeah. Yes.
The press found out about them because they had sex in the park. And everyone saw.
Oh, so that's out there.
Everyone saw and probably heard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, she was singing the whole time. Yeah. What a voice, huh? What if you guys just say to an athlete and I'll tell you what musician that they're dating?
Oh, that's a fun one. That's a really fun one.
Okay. Just an athlete.
Yeah, any athlete.
Should be easy for you, fellas.
Derek Jeter.
Is dating Dolly Parton.
Whoa!
He's stuck in the sort of the singer category because he was married to J-Lo for a long time. I know more about pop culture. Jennifer Lopez.
Lawrence?
No, Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez.
I don't know who that is.
Jennifer Lopez. You don't know Jennifer Lopez, Tiffany?
No, I don't.
Look up
Brett.
Jennifer Lopez.
Brett, I'm a pop culture expert, but some things fall through the cracks, Brett.
Obviously, the amount of research it took you to do to find out about all these things, I imagine you probably haven't Googled anything else in the last couple weeks.
Wow. Y'all have such great chemistry. Y'all really do. I'm just going to say it. I got a scoop.
What's the scoop?
Maybe y'all are dating.
No.
Why can't you look? Everybody's trying to date Brett the Mott these days.
I think the Peyton Manning thing was just to make you jealous.
Look,
buddy, you wouldn't accuse me of making up that I'm dating football player Peyton Manning in order to make a guy who rejected me 3 years ago jealous. You're accusing me of that because he rejected me on a Twitch live stream when I tried to throw my hat into the ring.
Well, public humiliation causes deep scars, I think.
Well, look, Tiff. Look, I don't even honestly. I don't think it would work. You're back in on the East Coast. I'm out in Hollywood.
Dude.
But what would it even
Long
look like?
distance
Tiffany?
relationship is great for you, Brett. Just maybe some FaceTimes here and there.
Yeah, I mean, like one call per week, maybe a few texts, maybe
real light.
Yeah, just send a picture
dating.
of like a dog I meet in a park being like that's all you got to do if you're long distance. It's very low maintenance.
Mm-hmm. But I absolutely couldn't because I'm dating Peyton Manning. That's who I said, right?
Yes. Ask her out, dude.
Well, how do you even do that? Look, I haven't asked somebody out in 100 years.
Bjork is dating Joe Montana.
her out, dude, while she's just cycling through these. Just
Michelle Branch is dating. Let's see,
dude.
Peyton Manning. No, I already said him. Michael Strahan.
Okay,
Nora Jones is dating. What's the woman who landed on one foot at the Olympics in gymnastics?
Carrie Strug.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're dating.
Carrie Strug's back in the news. Look, Tiff, did you just come on here because you're trying to get me to ask you out? Is that why you came on here?
Brett, would I email you and ask you for a reoccurring segment where I have to spin my wheels and 20 minutes before think of a bunch of musicians and athletes just to hope that you will ask me out on a date? Where am I going with this? What was I saying? Yeah, I did not do that.
Okay, good.
I'm a real. I got so lost in my sentence. I got scared in there.
It was a long sentence.
I know, and I forgot how I started it. And so I forgot how I started it, so I didn't know how to end it. What was I talking about? I'm so warm. No, I'm a real journalist, and these are real couples, allegedly. And don't sue me, but this is all very real, and I'm very real and very professional.
Well, look, Tiff, we got to let you go here in a couple minutes here, and I appreciate you coming on. And look, how about this for a commitment that Brett DeMott is comfortable making?
No, wait, I'll come back again. Hold that thought. I'll come back with very real news. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say, Tiff. What if maybe we can have you on the show periodically to give us a little bit of sort of check in on what's going on in pop culture, and maybe we could honestly get to know each other a little bit more, because I haven't talked to you other than that one time I talked to you 3 years ago. I hadn't really talked to you at all ever, so we don't even really know each other, Tiff.
So we could do like half celebrity blind item. And then just kind of like half of just like a little date, and I can help you all out.
Buddy just kind of goes and takes a big long piss, and we just sit here and talk to each other.
I mean, do I have to do that?
Yes.
You do whatever the hell you want, but it feels like that's the most likely scenario for you having to leave for a long time.
I think you'd do better if I just hung around and like helped you out.
I wouldn't care about anything like that. I'm not here to be asked out by Brett DeMott.
As you're putting lipstick on.
Nope, I'm not. I am here to be a serious entertainment journalist, and all those couples are incredibly real. Thank you very much.
Wow. Well, no, Tiff, we appreciate it. We do appreciate it, and this is great insight for all the people out there who are foaming at the mouth for fucking celebrity news, which we very infrequently really give them in any meaningful way. So this feels like a toe in the water of a future sort of pop culture relevancy that we could only dream to have as the two of us. So we appreciate you coming on and sort of broadening the appeal of the show. One. Mm-hmm. And two, for making me confront the feelings that I have about the divorce that I'm still working through.
Still?
That was Brett's weird way of saying that he likes you.
He was talking about that divorce. What was her name? Wait, don't tell me. I'm going to remember it. Did you begin with a D or a B?
A B?
I don't remember.
It's BB. It's literally just
you were talking about that divorce in 2021.
Yeah, it's hard. Your life is intertwined with somebody, and then they go and they leave you for cause. You know what I mean?
Because you're a dump truck. Anyway.
Right, because I'm a big, ugly dump truck.
I will be back with no alternative agenda, just here to give you the news, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show, Tiff. It was absolutely delightful, and I hope everybody out there heard about this and decides to date only athletes. And if you're an athlete, you can only date musicians. If you're a musician, you can only date athletes, and that's just the way that it is, folks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But Tiff, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Mm-hmm. We had an absolute blast chatting with you. And we will definitely be hitting you back up to get on the show. Come back and give us a few more, hopefully not.
I'm so sorry.
that's the
She
real.
was hoping that you were going to have a much shorter outro. She was going to be able to do that.
She was like,
after it was
I would
over.
love to be done talking in the
I
next.
was holding in that sneeze so long, Brett. You wouldn't even believe it. I was panicking over here.
Oh Jesus, I'm so sorry, Tiff. But what?
It's okay. I love you.
Oh.
Okay, well, I love
What?
you too, Tiff. I love you too.
Okay.
I love this. I love this for y'all.
Okay.
I love this. I can't wait to just imagine y'all on a date, both with really long run-on sentences. Yuck.
Oh no! I accidentally hit the yuck button. That wasn't real. That was an accident. I swear to God. I swear to God, that yuck
No,
wasn't
I
intentional.
get it. No, bye, Brett.
Oh
Goodbye.
no, Brett!
Slam.
No,
She
Brett!
slammed the door.
Brett, what happened? Brett, you hit the yuck button. Oh my God!
It
She
was-
said she loved you, and then you hit the yuck button.
My phone was sitting on the fucking soundboard, and I touched my desk, and it made it.
Oh my God! You're gonna have to repair that.
This is my problem, buddy. This is my problem. I accidentally make people feel disgusted. Yeah, look, Tiffany's not so bad. I gave Tiffany a bad rap. She's very sweet, well-meaning. I think I was in the moment, we'll say...
Terrified of love.
Oh, no, I mean, not terrified. I think I will admit I have trouble viewing myself as desirable. That's what I'll say. I have trouble believing that someone could ever be interested in me romantically.
Despite all those porno comments we get.
Yeah, I did. What do you mean porno comments?
All them porno comments, people talking about you.
Talking about wait, I'm not. Are you collecting porno comments about me?
Yeah. They're like, all I do is see him pull his hair during this podcast. I wish he'd pull my hair, stuff like that.
I haven't seen any of
He
these.
can reach through my glasses any day. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't send them to you because I know they make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They pour in, my dude.
Well, geez.
Those are the ones I can say. Most of the other ones involve wiener stuff.
Asking specifics about my wiener.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's keep that in the private chain.
Yeah.
We'll keep those
I've turned
in
down
the private
$5,000. I've turned down $5,000 for a sneak shot of you.
chain. Sneak shot of my dick.
Yeah. $5,000.
I mean, if you split it with
You're
me,
welcome.
you can accept.
Okay.
Yeah. But hey, speaking of big deals,
Speaking of animal instincts.
yeah, animal instincts. That's right, folks. Our number one guest is
Number one.
It was our number one guest in the last year, and it was a really exciting interview because the second we got sent this story, Buddy and I both perked up. We thought it was just such a great headline. We were so excited to see if we could get somebody from that headline onto the show. Because, of course, it was about a horse that got loose on board of an airplane.
Horse got loose.
Horse got loose, folks. And our number one guest in the first year of the Brett the Macho with Buddy is someone who looks a hell of a lot like Jon Gabrus. And that, of course, at number one is Turkey Burger. Plane forced to return to JFK Airport after horse on board gets loose.
Oh, shit.
That's right, folks. A 747 cargo plane heading to Belgium from New York was forced to return to John F. Kennedy International Airport after, rip to JFK, but not the airport. The airport is still up and running.
Yeah. Rip JFK.
Yeah, but they were forced to return to JFK International Airport after a horse escaped. That's right. The Boeing 747 was barely
Just barely
31,000 feet in the air when a pilot told air traffic control that a horse had escaped from its stall and that they needed to return to JFK on Thursday. The flight was forced to make a U-turn off the coast of Boston and dump about 20 tons of fuel over the Atlantic. Doesn't seem necessary.
No, they had to land.
Why?
Because they were full. It's harder to land with plane full of juice.
I don't know. I think the engineers need to figure that out. It remains unclear how the horse managed to escape, but it remained unrestrained until the plane landed at JFK, according to that audio. And folks, you might be asking how a fucking horse gets on an airplane in the first place. And that was, for me, my first question. And then you might be asking, how did the horse get out of whatever thing was restraining it? And then you might also ask, how the fuck did a plane land? What's that?
Clever girl.
Yeah, this horse is a fucking clever girl, like the T-Rex from fucking Jurassic Park, folks. And then this horse gets out of the stall and the plane lands while this horse is just standing there. And folks, all these questions we got, I'm thinking we're probably going to get some answers because we got a guest on the show today that's coming in to let us know a thing or two about this article, because this is, of course, the man who is the owner of said horse. And that is Mr. Turkey Burger. What's going on, Turk? How you doing today?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Sorry, let me put out my fucking chingola.
No, hey, man. Hey, whatever you got to do, do it.
Yeah, man. It's stressful flight, man, or, stressful short flight, man. So I'm fucking unwinding the only way I know how. This DMT cannabis hybrid I got from an Argentinian shaman, man.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a hefty mix, Turk. A hefty mix.
Yeah, it's the only way you got it. Everyone needs motivation these days, whether it's me, whether it's Little Red, the horse, the titular horse that you guys wanted to talk to me about. I guess the horse that I emailed you guys to say, like, hey, if you see any news stories about a fucking plane turning around because a loose horse is the joke we were making day of. And if I sent you that email and then you were like, as a matter of fact, when Buddy just texted me this article, we're thinking about doing it on Tuesday or whatever. I was like, I'm around. Let me I got my kid's a Twitch streamer, so I said, set up the microphone. I'll fucking tell him I got to talk to these fucking jabrones.
Well, hey, we appreciate you making time for us, Turk.
Yeah, thanks
we really
for sending
do.
that email.
Hey, no problem. I used my kid's email address, but
His name was Lil Turkey Burger.
yeah, it's Lil Turkey Burger. That's his birth name. His Twitch handle is Jeff Smith.
Oh, okay.
I guess if you got a crazy name, then when you want to choose a name for like a game or something, then you probably go
It's like
to a normal
reverse.
name.
Yeah, hard not to take that personally that he refuses to go by Little Turk business wise.
And a lot of and went with one of the most straightforward cookie cutter names that you could ever think of.
His SEO is in the fucking toilet, man.
Yeah, right?
I'm glad you know a little something about that, Turk, because that's something I've been studying about. But I guess, listen, the big question that we got is like, first of all, what's this horse doing on this cargo plane? And how does it get out?
And also, how are you on the cargo planes are for cargo? It's usually just two pilots and they fly. So you
want a
your
Loris horse in the back? You got to bring a pro. And I granted this time I'm not the best example because he still got Loris. The horse got Loris.
The horse got Loris. Yeah.
Well, you want to know why Lil Red was on a cargo plane?
Yeah.
I do.
Because that fucking bitch is afraid of boats.
Okay.
If I could have took him on a fucking ship to Belgium, I would have. I would have taken him directly into the dock at Antwerp. But no, he's got to go on a plane, and I'm afraid of planes.
Right. Of course.
Oh, okay. So was the horse kind of like chill, but you're spooked? Did you end up spooking the horse from?
All right. See, now here's the thing. Technically, there's a pending case here.
Right.
These motherfuckers are coming for me because my horse got Loris because I was bugging a little. Meanwhile, I gotta fucking pick up my cigarette butts at the beach, but these guys get to drop 20,000 gallons, 20,000 tons of fucking fuel into the ocean, and I'm like, yelling at my son to not leave his sandwich wrapper at the fucking beach. And now I'm on trial because my horse got Loris.
Yeah, that's got to be expensive. 20 tons of fuel. If you just go by gallon, I mean, they must be coming at you pretty big.
They're pissed. And forget the fuel. What about the fish? What about the fucking periphery, the fucking anemones? What about the fucking mammals?
Did they add that in there?
Also think about what if there's somebody having a bonfire on the beach and fucking 20 tons of jet fuel falls down and just causes a massive fire that goes out into the ocean, burns up the whole beach. I think they didn't think it through, and these guys
Yeah,
did.
what if like Harvey Weinstein's on a fucking yacht smoking a cigar and you know what? Never mind. That's karma. That's fucking karma, dude.
That is karma. Well, so that makes it.
I was
make a little
bugging on
sense.
the plane
Yeah, you were
'cause-
freaking out.
So, but I'm afraid of flights.
Oh,
And flying and heights and enclosed spaces, and a plane is kind of a is a kind of crux of the two, you know?
Yeah.
So Little Red knew that. So I took Little Red to my psychiatrist and got him to be my emotional support animal so that I would. I tried to get him trained. Now he's going to Antwerp to get his head blown off in the Napoleon movie. He's got cancer, so it's his last choice. Like, we're taking him to Antwerp to shoot a scene where he gets his head blown off.
They did that.
But he's too afraid to get on this fucking boat, this long boat with Ridley Scott and Joaquin and fucking all the whole crew.
Were they all on the boat?
They're taking the boat. Yeah, they were like, we're just taking the whole crew this way. It was from England, but where Ridley's from. But I was gonna take a boat to England with just the horse.
You got to be pissed to miss out on that sort of hang. Also, if you were gonna be on a boat with Ridley Scott, Joaquin Phoenix, and all these guys, it's got to be tough.
Oh man, I would have fucking went bananas, dude. I would have had a fucking time of my life. I had enough chingola in my fucking asshole to fucking make us all rip a good one, dude. But the thing, that was part of my fucking problem, though. I didn't realize how much I was going to be sweating and clenched up on the flight.
Right.
I popped a fucking baggie of chingola in my ass.
Oh no.
Because here's the thing.
That DMT hits you quick because that flight almost immediately got turned around.
Yeah. Well, I had some in the lounge before I boarded, just like the cargo lounge. It's kind of like it's way. You've been to the first class lounge. I'm assuming you guys are big radio personalities.
I've seen the American Airlines Admirals Club a couple times.
Yeah. Well, I've quickly walked by it before taking a quick dump before a flight.
Buddy always gets stopped whenever we try to go into the Admirals Club. He'll try to follow me in, and I'll say he's with me, and they'll say prove it, and then he gets.
And then I start barking like a dog, and then I say. It's an emotional support dog, and that shit don't
you
work.
go for that too. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. Well, in LAX, like everything's an emotional support dog. Yeah.
And so you do have this Lil Red, as you named him. He is a registered emotional support animal, and those are
that was so that I could go on the car. You had asked. Right. I didn't know. Usually it's just the pilots and the animals or the cargo, but I didn't want him to go by himself, even though I was afraid. So since he was technically, we are each other's emotional support animals.
I was gonna say. It sounds like
I got certified as well. That's why I wear this little vest.
Yeah. And now you've never tried to get Lil Red on a commercial airliner, have you? It feels
yes. Well, that was gonna be how I save money on this. Once you wouldn't get on the boat, I have all these fucking JetBlue miles, and I was like, I'll take them on fucking JetBlue. We'll go Mint. I'm not gonna fucking jam him in Coach, but we'll put him in Mint. We'll say he's my fucking emotional support thing. We get on there. You didn't think anything of that. Southwest would have let me, they said. But at that point, the TSA was involved. And because Big Lil Red got, well, this is the thing. He was originally nicknamed Big Red. But
because he's a full-size horse.
He's a giant fucking horse. Yeah. He was big when he was little. You know what I mean? When he was little, he was big. Like Yogi Berra.
I read, you sent it in the email, you said, this horse actually killed its mother when it was born because it was so big when it came out.
Yeah, and I thank you for saying came out. It kind of, he just kind
exploded.
of fucking, he burst out.
Kind of like Alien. It's kind of like
it was a chest burster.
Like a chest burster from the Alien movie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Aliens, man. Ridley fucking Scott.
Your look makes sense that you're Aliens guy.
Yeah, man, I fucking Alien the movie, Aliens the real things that live amongst us, hybrids the cars, hybrids the people that are the children of alien and human, and they are assimilating into society, and they're all celebrities, you know?
Like, yeah. Look, we both agree that all that exists, so we don't need to spend
we don't have to go any further. You want to get back to Little Red used to be Big Red,
right?
Then got his head stuck in a peanut butter jar. So we had to fucking shave down his skull in a very specific way. Didn't break the jaw. Tried everything. So we had to shave down his skull in a very specific way that now he's earned the nickname Lil Red.
So but that's just his head. So it's big horse body.
He's got a normal sized body still, but his head is shaved down in a way that it's kind of upsetting how little it is.
Like kind of like
It looks like a
brontosaurus
kid's
kind of a
drawing
head.
of a horse. It looks like two eyes on the end of a neck with a few fucking random teeth, you know?
Yeah, so about this horse, so you said he was going to get blown up in the movie Napoleon. I think this is something I didn't really know about, how they use animals in movies. I know that he had cancer. Is this kind of like a horse make-a-wish kind of thing where they
This is
Ridley
Make a
Scott
Horse
whipping
Wish.
the boat around, picking up all the make-a-wish horses and then blowing them up in Belgium?
No, because all the horses have different wishes. You know,
Right.
one like
Right.
one
Yeah,
wish.
sorry.
One wish just got suplexed by John Cena. They were huge
Okay,
huge
classic.
wrestling fans.
That's a classic wish.
Yeah, they again not intended to be the death, but Cena doesn't know how to hold back.
Yeah.
He fucking killed that horse.
Yeah.
Put him through 5 plywood tables. But yeah, Little Red or Big Red at the time. Well, just I'm gonna go with Little Red. Little Red. You know, Red was like,
yeah.
I want to. I'm like, look, it doesn't look good for you. You can, and he's like, I want to die on camera. And I was like, I can make that happen. I've done that in the past. And he was like, no, like in a movie, not one of those fucking Faces of Death videos you're always making specs of at your barn. I was like, all right, Little Red. Now, we kind of communicate through just the
That's what
stern
I was
eye
wondering. Yeah,
contact.
that's definitely
what's
both
the
of our next
communication like?
question.
Yeah, because
I knew you were going to ask that. I should have said something ahead of time. 'Cause I should have just
here's
had
the
this one
thing.
off at the pass. This
No,
is
I'll
not my
tell
thing.
you. I immediately got it because I think I had that sort of communication with an old dog of mine, where like
Yeah.
I would look at it and we would just kind of get each other. I knew when it was like pissed off that I got the food that didn't taste good to it. I knew when it was pissed off that I was spending too much time at the hardware store. I would sort of head off these arguments by walking into the house and be like, I know I've been gone too long.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah.
These animals, they're beautiful. They're smart. They're intelligent. They can tell you things with their eyes. You know, I've had doctors tell me that I'm projecting some of my thoughts onto the horse.
Same
and that,
fucking thing.
yeah.
These
But
fucking
I'm like, no, the
doctors,
horse
man.
hated the neighbor's cat. The neighbor's cat had to disappear.
Yeah.
So you don't have any of the same kind of get hit with a cannonball in a Ridley Scott movie? You don't have anything sort of like that you may have been projecting?
No, I want to die coming like everybody else. You mean how do I want to die? Yeah, I don't want to. I'm fine on camera, but I want to die coming. You know, just like everybody else.
It's
If you
true.
can die wherever you want, what are you gonna not rip off one last nut? Like if you have any choice you want, you're like, oh, I'll do skydiving. It's like we can still be nutting.
Yeah, I
Might
want
as well be
everybody out
fucking
there-
ripping one
Yeah.
last one out. It's the last fucking chance.
Everybody out there, imagine your death scenario and imagine how it wouldn't be made better by you coming while it's happening.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Close.
Maybe if you're like a parent, you're like, I just want to spend it with my children. You probably don't want to be busted in your pants or fucking getting into multiples territory while you're like hanging out with your 5 and 7 year olds. It's twisted, man. Why'd you
It
even
is
think
pretty
of that?
good. That is twisted. But now, Turk, so a lot in this story is being made about it sort of turning around and how the horse was out and all this kind of stuff. What was going on in your mind when the horse got loose? Because obviously a horse in a confined space like that, it's probably pretty scary. How did you, as someone who you've already admitted was kind of spooked to be in the air in the first place?
Spooked to be in the air, Chingola bag burst in my anus, and I'm just about to start peeking. Now this fucking so I packed the Chingola in peanut butter, so just in case they pull the bag out of my ass in security, I could say, nah, it's just a bag of peanut butter that I keep in my ass.
Best excuse.
To get that, you know, like because you just put drugs in peanut butter. Like, you put it in the peanut butter jar, put it in your bag, and you're like, "What are you gonna do? Just check inside the peanut butter?" So I do the same thing, but with a bag in my ass.
Coated in peanut butter.
The bag is full of peanut butter. Inside of it is the Chingola. But yeah, and I'll use some peanut oil to help get it in there. Yeah.
At least when it bursts, it still just looks like shit when it's coming out.
That's the other thing. And that was embarrassing because then everyone was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm just shitting my pants." Because I had these awesome white sweats on. And everyone's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing. I just shit my pants. I'm not doing anything weird. I'm an adult man with diarrhea on this plane." They're like, "We just took off." Now, I've been training Little Red how to talk. not talk, but how to move his mouth like Mr. Ed.
Right.
So he's fucking addicted to peanut butter.
Yeah.
So he sees me running into the bathroom with a fucking drippy fucking PB butt. He sees my PBAH, peanut butter asshole.
The peanut butter.
Yeah.
And so that's what drove him to break out of the stall?
No, but he's getting all fucking worked up. Turns out. Now I'm almost there, Brett. The pilot has got a fucking peanut allergy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They thought they didn't have to say anything because, they checked
there's
our
no
bags.
food service. There's no snacks being passed around. They don't gotta
that
worry
was
about it.
bullshit, by the way. It's like a 14-hour flight to Belgium from fucking,
But granted, human beings are not supposed to be on that flight.
We're not. But my horse needed his emotional support human, me, in my little vest. Yeah. And then, of course, like a bad service dog, I immediately shit myself. Well, in their eyes, I immediately shit myself. But really, I just burst my chingola and peanut butter bag. So that makes the pilot faint, and then he leans forward and hits the joystick. I don't know what they call it.
I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing here.
And then they fucking dive. And when they dive,
the horse
gets up in the air and then lands really hard right as the plane levels out.
Oh, shit.
He's fine. He's not out yet. I'm telling you, I'm going to.
He didn't even hit the door?
Still not out yet.
These things are built well. I'll tell you. These things are built well.
I guess it's like, that's like those like 0G flights you can do where the plane dives and you just kind of float for a second and then it levels out.
Yeah, the horse is big enough. It's kind of like if you're on a loop-de-loop where you get that stomach drop on a coaster. You get that float moment, but you understand because of where your straps are, you're not going to flip. He doesn't go out.
But this also must have been a nightmare for you in the bathroom at the time.
I hadn't made it to the bathroom yet. I because when it dropped, I flew across the fucking plane. Of course, smashed into the wall. Fucking leave a huge skid mark. Everyone's laughing about that, but they don't know it's peanut butter. So now it's closer to the pilot. He's fucking bugging. And the co-pilot, luckily, he was like fucking, like third day or some shit, but he fucking snapped together real fast. So I sprint, go to open the bathroom door. Silly me. Bathroom door and the horse stall door, they look exactly the same.
Okay.
No kidding.
Okay.
Wow.
They don't, but in the heat of the moment, when you're fucking the chingolas hit the bloodstream.
Yeah.
Plus the adrenaline.
Yeah.
The adrenaline, the chingola, the peanut butter. I think I might have a peanut butter allergy at this point.
Yeah.
And fucking Little Red's addicted, so he sees me open the door. He sees peanut butter everywhere. This fucking guy he's the mayor of Slurp Town at this point.
With his weird little fucked up head.
He's got his fucking shaved down little head. It's so upsetting. But here's the thing. That fucking little tiny head, that can get places. And I was not prepared for this. He got fucking places, dude.
You're saying Little Red got inside your asshole. Is that what
he got not fully inside my asshole, but trapped in between my taint and my pants and underwear that he had pulled down a little bit with his what were left of his snout. Kind of got wedged in there,
Right.
Like that little region that like when you stand up after you poop, you could like there is this like triangle between your underwear and your two legs and your grundle. He got his fucking snooze in there and he was fucking whipping me around, whipping my fucking ass all over the place.
So you're
body of a young man. Whipping my ass all over the place.
At this point, you're kind of in like a rodeo kind of bucking bronco situation.
I am. Good call.
Yeah.
And that's funny because I say to someone, I'm like, this actually is my first rodeo. And they didn't find it that funny.
Wherewithal to be able to have that phrase in front of
That's
mine
been locked and loaded. I've always thought it'd be funny to be in a rodeo and get to say
And
that.
you were just like,
whipping around, head hitting every fucking wall, and I was like, I gotta rip this now. I don't know when else, because I don't like riding horses. I just like teaching them and spending time with them and training them and feeding them and teaching them to talk and communicating telepathically.
Yeah.
I don't like to ride them because if you ride them,
You're
let
weird.
me tell you this much: Turk Burger. You guys call me Turkey Burger. It's my nickname. Turkey Burger. He ain't a small man. The turkey burger part is, you could just call me Burger. But the turkey part people find funny because I am unhealthy. I'm a large man. Whipping me around like that, Jesus fucking Christ. But what I was getting at is, telepathically, if you're a big man, and you sit on a horse's back,
Oof.
you can hear them grumbling. Like,
Yeah,
you
there's
hear them go like,
it's-
fucking
yeah,
Christ.
this
yeah.
is gonna be rough.
Yeah, you feel it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're not, and a lot, a lot of doctors tell me I'm just projecting onto the horses, but it doesn't fucking matter to me, man.
Yeah, no,
I
I
ain't
hear
doing
you,
that
man.
shit again, man. If I could telepathically communicate with a motorcycle, I'd stop riding my fucking hog.
I don't want to know what the things that I use think about me.
Yeah, my fucking Sibian would blow its fucking head off.
God. I have not thought of the word Sibian in 14 years.
Well, that makes one of us, brother. It's on my mind every single day.
For anybody out there who doesn't know what a Sibian
He doesn't travel
is,
the dark paths of the in-between analog and
I would
internet
say- yeah, just
lifestyle.
head to Google Chrome, open up an incognito window, and just type in
SYBIAN.
Sibian, and we'll just go ahead and say this is an NSFW suggestion.
Yeah, I wouldn't search it on your mom's computer because when it auto-completes, you're going to get upset.
Now, this is perhaps a question that nobody gives a shit about, but I'm interested in.
Uh-oh, we're getting into somebody doesn't give a shit territory? God forbid. We've been ripping and running for 20 minutes with all the hard-hitting facts. I don't want to get into this no one gives a shit
Gripping
territory.
interview thus far, but my question is, this is a cargo plane. And you're
Yeah.
right, you're getting bucked around by your fucking horse.
Cargo plane don't.
What? Wait, let me figure it out.
That's what I said when the plane landed.
The cargo plane don't go? Is that the implication?
Cargo plane don't.
Okay, got it. You get a couple more minutes out
That's
of
why I
it.
said it as I was driving away
Yeah.
after we landed.
Right.
had a couple
That's a bummer
zingers
you didn't
lined
get
up.
that one in.
Driving
yeah.
my convertible with Little Red sitting shotgun.
His
I drive a
weird fucking
Mitsubishi
head
Spider.
way above the windshield.
We've actually watched a
brontosaurus
video.
head.
We have watched a video on this show of a guy driving around with a fucking bull in his little
His
like
prize bull he drove in
Celica.
Oh man, I wish I would have
convertible.
fucking emailed you that week. I
Yeah.
could have come on and talked to you about it. That was
would've been
me.
great. Oh,
That's
picture
my
of it.
emotional support bull.
The picture of it had just the whole back of the car was shit.
It was covered in
It
shit.
just driven across country.
Yeah,
and
that was
just shit all
actually
over his
peanut butter.
car.
That was peanut butter.
Yeah, now
That's how
in
you
my
get the bull
memory.
in the car.
Yeah.
If you would have had me on, we could have fucking, we could have knocked that conspiracy back.
But I'm Turk, I'm just imagining this scenario of you getting fucking tossed around by Little Red in this cargo plane with what I'm assuming is a ton of other cargo. Did you cause much damage?
No, oh God, no! It was fucking crazy. It was like Jumanji in there. All the other, it was mostly animals.
It was all animals.
It was animals and a lot of fake plants that I had started whipping around. So when it started fucking, when we were hitting 0 G's, there was fucking a big turtle flew by at one point, a fucking potted plant, a couple of cactus, a birds of paradise,
Oh,
a sort of
okay.
real birds of paradise, and then
Right,
the flower
right.
called birds of paradise.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Brett. I'm absolutely distracted by what's on your TV behind you. I'm hard as a goddamn rock over here.
Sorry, I'm watching the American Gladiators documentary series in the background.
Smart.
Yeah. I'm like taking it in through osmosis, you know.
Hey man, multi-screen experience, man.
Yeah.
You're young, man. You
Yeah.
young kids can handle that kind of shit.
I
I can only fucking watch shit while I'm driving. I can't have two screens going.
You watch it on the little console screen on your.
Oh yeah, I got a fucking PS5 on it for the lights. I watch the cutscenes while I drive.
Jesus Christ!
Did you
Man.
have like since it's your enormous amount of like DMT exploding in your anus? You're getting bucked around. You're in 0 G's. It's a Jumanji type situation. There's animals flying around. Did you have any sort of like, I don't know, like moment of clarity or anything?
Yeah, like spiritual experiences or something like that.
There was a moment during all this, and it actually kicked off with a little bit of a telepathic communication from Lil Red, who I guess had really gotten in there and gotten some of the Chingola himself.
No.
And he was kind of like, we're animals, man.
Whoa.
And I was like, huh?
Wow.
And he said, and I felt this experience. He didn't say this, but I felt this experience. We looked around and we were animals, man. Amongst animals.
Wow.
We all say, yeah, we know humans are animals.
Right.
We know horses are animals.
Right.
But when you're floating down thinking you're about to die, you're in 0 G. There's nothing connecting you on the ground. Me, a loose fish, a horse.
A turtle that you are a turtle.
A turtle who
Plants.
was spinning like a fucking Mario Kart, popped his head out, went, oh, and put his head right back in. Bing! Bouncing off the walls. I see why they can go full fucking turtle mode, like Dana Carvey. And in this moment, we realized we were just animals, man. We were in a terrarium. We were in a fucking plummeting terrarium. When we died, people would just say, 3 humans, 2 horses, a donkey, a guy dressed as a donkey, I think, question mark, a turtle, a loose fish.
Wait.
Yeah.
What an experience. Honestly, that makes me, and I think anybody out there who's listening, that should make you recognize that this had to happen for you, Turk.
There was no, all paths lead to this moment.
All paths lead to the 0 G moment.
Yeah.
To a fucking telepathic link with your fucked up horse head, little Make-A-Wish horse emotional support animal. Brief eye contact with an aged tortoise. And a loose fish landing in your mouth, kind of near your mouth. Like,
God, did you then put it in your mouth?
Then you put it in your mouth to just kind of fucking cinch it. And I thought that was the closest moisture I could find for this poor. And that fucking, egg on my face, it's a fucking blowfish.
God.
Fills my mouth with fucking poisonous spines.
Blows your mouth up real
Blows
big.
my fucking mouth up real big. Got a horse in my asshole. I'm fucking getting fucking Eiffel Towered by animals.
By a horse and a
Fucking Little Red goes, we're animals, man, but with like an italicized animals at this point.
Right.
And he's kind of roasted me. He's like, we're fucking animals, dude. What are we doing here?
Jesus Christ. Well, Turk, this sounds like an absolutely insane experience, man. We got to let you go here in a second, but
That's fine. I gotta bring a duffel bag full of cobras to Dallas Fort Worth.
I was gonna say, I see the duffel bag behind you, and it is moving.
It's moving. I gotta remember not to unzip that again.
Yeah.
I was like, let me throw a book in there. I'm like, I should just bring 2 bags now. I'm not opening this fucking thing till I get to DFW.
Till you get to the airport.
To get to the other airport. I ain't fucking open this thing. Yeah. I learned my fucking lesson, dude.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Turk, honestly, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. This was an enlightening experience. I hope everybody out there listening to this and realizes by the end of this interview that we're all animals, man.
We're all animals.
We're just all animals, and if we all would realize that, all the problems in the world would just evaporate. If we saw,
we're all animals.
We're all just animals trying to survive some of the most chaotic, terrifying experiences of our lives every single day. Every day is that.
Every day a new horror is delivered upon our poor fucking animal brains.
Yeah.
We must have to learn how to survive. Never giving an opportunity to thrive, of course. Because we are just in constant state of pure survival.
Getting by is all we can hope for, folks. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's the takeaway from this interview. Just surviving.
Just one day after another. Fuck. Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Well, Turk, before we get out of here, is there anything that you would like to sort of plug, tell the audience about, anything you're into these days that they might be interested in as well?
As I became an avid, transatlantic boat guy, I had a lot of time to kill, so I joined the Action Boys Patreon. Their podcasts.
I've heard it. I've heard of that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. They rarely have an episode under 3 hours, so it's really worth your money. Not saying any of it is good, but it's definitely worth $5 for like 15 hours a week of fucking 15 hours a month of fucking podcasts. That That makes a steamship cruise line cruise by.
Yeah, and
steamship cruise line cruise by.
A lot of people want to say that it should be quality over quantity. I disagree. I think more is always better.
Some people just want 3 hours of different voices in their head.
Exactly. And that's all we want. And we don't want them to
shut
not
up
be
their own voices and listen to these 3 worse voices.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Turk, thank you so much for being here, man. We really, really appreciate you. And next time we get an article about some crazy animal getting loose, we'll assume it's you and we'll give you a call.
And if you're ever... Yeah, please do. And if you're ever shooting a movie, I got this old ass fucking cat here that we could do something crazy with. Okay.
Awesome. That's great to know, man. Well, you have a good one, Turk, and we'll catch up with you sometime in the future, my man.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Well, that's it, folks. That's the peak. That's the top of the mountain for year one.
Wow. Congratulations.
Congratulations to us. Congratulations to you all. Congratulations to the podcast industry in general for having us involved.
And shout out to Turk. I think he had one of his horses killed in Dune 2.
That's right. You probably don't remember from that movie any scenes with horses in it.
Nope. They cut it out.
Yeah, they cut it out. But it was a huge deal. He got paid a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He was really excited about it. We just talked to him. And Denis Villeneuve, the director, said there's definitely going to be horses in Dune 3.
Yep.
Already
Space
got
horse.
a contract. So there's going to be space horses in Dune 3. And I think Turk's going to be the horse wrangler.
Oh, yeah. And I got a text from him recently. I forgot to plug this. If you have a dead or a dying horse that wants to go out how it wants to go out,
he started like a service, right?
He started a service. He'll pick up your old ass horse and he'll try to get it killed on a set of a movie. So
Jesus,
he had I think he had over a dozen killed for Shogun.
Wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, if you ever see a horse die in that, it's really dying.
It's so dark.
Just think about that when you watch that show.
Yeah, just think about that when you're watching that critically acclaimed show. They kill horses. They do.
Don't they?
Yeah. But you know, folks, that's it. That's it for the list. That's the end of year one, folks. Year two starts next week.
Oh my gosh, big.
Huge. It's freaking huge. And, I don't think Buddy and I had any real expectations of what the show was going to be. But the simple fact that we are able to do a best of at the end of year one and have
never
people
missed a week,
care.
y'all.
We never missed a freaking week.
We grinded.
Well, we did. There was that 1 week around New Year's where we didn't release an episode, but
that didn't count.
But
New Year's Day doesn't matter,
right? But we appreciate every single person who has given some time to the show.
So much.
We appreciate anybody who's gotten anything out of it because both of us really enjoy doing it, and it warms our heart to see so many people engage with the show in such a meaningful and lovely way.
Shout out to the 45 guests that we've had
that's
who come through every time.
And we ain't stopping, folks. I think, a lot of people give me shit because I only did 43 episodes of How You Been. A lot of people say, you ain't shit, you only did 43. You suck. They say that show's not good because you stopped. It devalues the rest of the show because you couldn't follow through further. But we've already made it to 52 with this show. And so I'll say this. This is my legacy. The Brett DeMott Show with Buddy is the Brett DeMott legacy. And I am so incredibly proud of what we will now call the first chapter in the Brett DeMott legacy.
Wow.
Which is, of course, year one of the Brett DeMott Show with Buddy / the podcast. And year two, folks, I think it's only up from here. It's only up.
We got a great guest lined up that, hint, hint, might know a little bit about the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Might have some inside info.
A little bit about the Shohei Ohtani gambling incident.
Yeah, if that doesn't wet your fucking whistle, I don't know what will, folks.
You know him. You love him.
You should be sloppy. Your whistle should be sloppy. We won't tell you who it is.
Sloppy whistle.
But we hope you have a sloppy whistle. But folks, tune in if you are subscribed to the Patreon. We got a bonus headline coming tomorrow, which is going to be really, really fun. So just please subscribe if you haven't already. You'll have access to every single episode of this show forever. As well as video and how you been and the weekly bonus headline, which this week we got a freaking doozy. So head over to the Patreon and subscribe right now for $5, or you can do it for 10 too. You don't get anything extra, but if you have $10 that you want to give us 1 month, you absolutely can.
It's a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, it's just a lot of entertainment.
We put a lot of effort in this show,
and we have a lot of
rundown.
Fun. Yeah, we're fucking organized.
Organized. This show is well produced.
We're gonna do.
There's one thing you can't say about this show that it's not well fucking produced.
Yes, you can say a lot of bullshit about this show, folks, but one thing you can't say.
Most things.
Yeah, you cannot say that this show is not well produced. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in every single week.
Yeah.
Please go follow us on social media at Brett the Mott Show on all the social medias. And me and Buddy will be back next week with a more traditional episode of the show. Very excited.
Banger.
To start year 2 off with a bang, folks. And we will be here same time, same place, same podcast app. Until that time, happy anniversary, motherfuckers. Yeah! Yeah!